And away we go. Welcome to season 17, episode number 3724. Along with Steve the Thrill Hill, the Ted Smith, and my car, Montgomery. And you are in the men's room. Today, Ryan Castle joins us from his basement dungeon studio bar, and once again, we will sit and spin as we break out the black T-shirts for the top band-selling T-shirts of all times. We will play Profile This, plus headlines, a men's room shot of the day, fun with listener emails, and everyone's favorite TV Time with Ted.
Click, clack.
Drinking the drum. All right, here we go to Japan, where 45 people have been attacked by monkeys in the last 19 days. A story from Brooklyn would indicate that being a bishop in New York City really, really pays. Lake Mead in Nevada brings us another dead body as waters continue to recede. Sad knows if you enjoy a Choco Taco after smoking a little bit of that weed. And a Polish scientific institute says that domestic cats are, quote, an invasive alien species. That is all coming on today's very special episode of The Men's Room.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours. All right, as much as we try to avoid it, it seems that in the course of our lifetime, we will find ourselves in the emergency room. Now, sure, there's legitimate reasons to go. Car crash, you get shot, a chimpanzee rips your face off. But then there are some more embarrassing reasons we find ourselves there, like, I don't know, anyone who shows up on interior decorating during Profile This, i.e., a live eel in the rectum, a shot glass trapped in a vagina, or a thermometer stuck in your urethra. Sadly, all of these things happen. But there's a million different reasons people show up at the emergency room. We told you yesterday about the 7-year-old kid in Russia. He was competing against a robot in a game of chess. Well, the robot grabbed the kid's hand and broke the kid's finger. While that's mildly terrifying, it's a much cooler injury story than the Massachusetts woman who broke her ankle after slipping on goose turds. And somehow, that's less embarrassing than the man from England who's been in and out of the hospital for the last 5 years. His problem, it seems, is that after eating a ham hock sandwich, well, he just can't stop farting. True story. We'll explain more later. And stupid injuries and hospital visits, it's not just for us peons. Celebrities get in on the act. Simon Cowell, remember how he lost his tooth? Not a biking accident, which is his usual thing. No, he was eating peanut brittle. And in a very ironic injury, Demi Lovato cut her forehead open and had to go to the hospital with a healing crystal. We'll let that sink in for a second. But hey, they're not the only idiots out there. We're all idiots, and sometimes being an idiot hurts. And that's why today we want to know, what is the funniest, dumbest, or most embarrassing way you ended up in the ER?
Be part of the big show. Call 206-421-ROCK. Like the Men's Room on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Men's Room Live. And send those emails to the Men's Room at KISW.com. Tell us, away we go. Welcome to season 17, episode number 3724. What a large and in charge program we have for you today on this beautiful Tuesday. Ryan Castle, once again, joining us from his basement dungeon studio bar. We will sit and spin, and we'll break out the black T-shirts today for the top-selling band T-shirts of all times. These are the bands that have sold more merch that you see, whether it's on a rack at Target, whether it's at the concert.
Right.
You know, where you see a kid walking down the street and ask yourself, how the hell does he know who Led Zeppelin is? He's 8.
Right.
You know, these are the top-selling T-shirts of all times. I've got a rock and roll T-shirt on.
I was going to say, do you think yours is on there?
No.
You don't think Electric Light Orchestra?
No. They're not. They're not.
2019 tour is one of the top sellers.
Is that what ELO stands for?
Yeah.
Electric Light Orchestra. That is correct.
Well, I don't have on a band T-shirt, but this is a shirt I got at Target just because it has Bob Ross on it.
You get more compliments on that shirt than probably any shirt you have, though.
100%.
Yeah.
My one Jimi Hendrix shirt.
Yeah.
Target.
Well, like Nirvana shirts are almost just fashion now.
They are.
Because it doesn't matter how
that has a lot to do with this list.
what background you come from. Like, it's just cool to wear a Nirvana shirt.
AC/DC is another one of those things.
If it has the little frowning, the smiley face on it.
Right, and
Like
Bieber's
that's-
brand looks just like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Bieber. He probably does pretty well, too.
I bet.
Yeah. Taylor
T-shirt
Swift.
sales? I don't know.
You don't know? I mean, who knows?
I feel like Taylor Swift might do, I'm just saying T-shirt sales. So I know a lot of kids are buying Bieber and all that kind of thing, but I don't know that I've ever seen a Justin Bieber shirt out and about.
Okay, yeah.
I've seen Diana Ross. I've just never seen Justin Bieber.
Okay.
Well, his personal brand, though, just has like a smiley face and something else. So you might have seen it and not realize it was a Bieber.
That it's the Biebs.
It's a Bieber shirt.
Yeah. Once again today, by the way, we have tickets for you to join us for Pain in the Grass. Not only are you going to join us for Pain in the Grass, but you're also going to join us for the Men's Room Happy Hour and a Half Party. So here is the way we've worked this week, okay? Jesus.
That's called playing with fire.
We pick a member of the show, and they come up with a phrase every day. They select another member of the show to slip that phrase into just general conversation. So this time around, I picked the phrase, and I've decided that Kevin, who's in there, and he's not paying any attention, so I have to tell him.
He's not.
Well,
it's going to be tough for him to get it in.
Kevin is helping us out here while Mike's on his honeymoon. So with
he's taking a phone call. He's working.
Yeah,
he's actually working.
So I've got it. So he's gonna and he's not on the mic much. So he's gonna walk in and do this. You know what I mean? So you'll know it's him. It's gonna make it easy as hell. You know, but
not if you picked it. Hey, I'm nervous for him.
Hey, Kevin.
I don't know. Oh, there he is.
We need you.
Kevin.
We need you. Listen,
Kevin.
He doesn't know. He doesn't know what we're doing here. So listen. Okay, all this week you know about this phrase we're doing. We're giving away these tickets to Pain in the Grass.
Absolutely, yeah. I've been getting people calling that are like,
do.
dude, I tried to call and tried to get him. Like, it's
what
text,
do they expect
dude.
you
It's
to
text.
do?
Yeah. Well, you're supposed to text pain, the word pain, to 77999.
It worked yesterday.
When you hear the phrase. So, at some point in time on this show, okay, just in general and casual conversation, we need you to walk into here and say, my roids are on fire right now.
Oh, damn.
And when you hear Kevin say, my roids are on fire right now, then you will text pain to 77999. So whenever you feel like doing, just come in and say, man, my roids are on fire.
I remember yesterday I told him, I said, don't worry.
We're never
wasn't on the big show. It was only on the Happy Hour Friday. We're not going to bring it up again.
It was only the P1s, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, but I was like, don't worry, man. You're good.
We're good. When you hear Kevin say, my roids are on fire right now, text pain to 77999. So that's how we're going to
Thank you very much, Miles.
Yes, absolutely. I figured you would like that. Our question today, we're going to talk about going to the ER in the dumbest possible way, and this is a strange one. Chess playing a robot broke the finger.
Stop texting pain now. That was not the moment.
No.
His roids are fine right now.
Yeah,
Kevin has to say it,
not me.
Oh, my God.
Anytime during
there
the show.
There we go.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Stop.
And we're not in control of the app. We have nothing to do with the app today.
Right.
They updated that on their own.
We didn't do anything. We're sorry. I don't know what the hell happened there.
They updated it. They did not upgrade it.
Something weird happened, but anyway, we apologize for that. We'll look into it. When someone who knows what they're talking about, we can talk to them.
I'm going to have to use that term, though, Thrill. I like that.
What's that?
Well, sure, she updated her boyfriend, but she didn't upgrade.
Oh, it's clearly not an upgrade. Because you can't find it.
Look at him.
Right? I'm just like, I could use that in a lot of places.
Yeah. I think they use the word update kind of like you just say change. Just because something changed doesn't mean it's any bad. Hey, we changed your flight. We changed our recipe.
That's right.
Doesn't mean it's good. So we changed the app.
Hey, chess playing robot broke the finger of its 7-year-old opponent during a match at a tournament in Russia. The boy was facing off against the robot when it mistakenly grabbed and broke the child's finger at the Moscow Open last week.
They say it mistakenly did it. How do you know?
I can't even believe they admitted this, to be honest with you.
What, that it broke the kid's finger?
I can't believe they admitted any of this.
Why not?
Robot did not break the finger of child. Robot perfect.
Well,
maybe child deserved it.
Yeah, child not very nice.
You're right. Coming from Russia, chances are
seriously.
The robot killed the kid.
7-year-old stupid child. Robot smart. The boy was facing off against a robot when it mistakenly grabbed and broke the child's finger.
I don't believe it's a mistake.
Let me see that.
Yes, exactly. Break the finger.
Sweeps the leg.
His mom was not nice to me in high school. Break the finger.
Let me get your digits. Do you get joke?
His mom would not go out with me in high school. Break the finger.
Oh.
Break the finger. The robot broke the child's finger.
Move is established when you move finger. I move finger for you.
This, of course, is bad, according to the president of the Moscow Chess Federation.
Hey, really?
Sergei
That's
Lazarev.
bad? He thinks it's bad that a robot broke a 7-year-old kid's finger while playing chess?
I wonder if there's one of those things like, you taking your finger off the piece. And I know we say, and I'm sure that's an actual rule.
You keep
right?
your finger on, and that's what I'm saying. The robot was like, you've been thinking too long. I'm breaking
Something's
your
going
finger.
on here. Yeah, like he's not making it. He pulled back, or maybe he took the finger off and put the finger back on.
I count to 5, you remove
the
finger.
Finger is very important in chess. I do know that.
Yeah.
The child reportedly made his next move on the chessboard before the robot, a large automated arm powered by artificial intelligence, had time to recalculate. and mistook the boy's finger for a piece of chess.
But it's not artificial intelligence, it's just artificial.
The child make the move, and after that we...
Your finger look like pawn.
Time for robot to answer, but the boy hurried. Robot grabbed the finger.
Did the robot break any of the chess pieces?
No.
No.
Oh, no.
See, they're trying to say confusing it for a chess piece. Like, well, it didn't break the chess pieces. It broke this kid's finger.
Yeah, TV footage shows a mechanical arm latch onto the boy's finger for several seconds before adults run over and try to intervene. They're able to pry it off his hand. The young boy, whose name is Christopher.
I not let go.
He returned to the next day and finished his matches with a cast around his finger. He is one of the 30 best chess players under 9 years old in Moscow, by the way, which is kind of a big deal. The robot has been used in many chess tournaments, was rented by the organization for the Moscow Chess Open, has ability to play multiple matches simultaneously. We have nothing to do with robot. Robot operators apparently will have to think about strengthening protection so that this situation does not happen again. There are certainly safety rules with the child. This is obviously an accident. It is a robot, but we know that that's...
I will say, when you see the video, it makes a lot more sense.
Because
it's not like a thinking like Boston Dynamic robot. It's just like an arm.
This is what I can't believe.
He's got it.
Oh, he's got a finger.
Yeah.
I don't mean to laugh, but goddamn.
But you see what I'm saying? When you see it, I'm like, all right, that makes a little more sense. I thought it was like a real robot walking out and just like, let's go.
Now we head to England. Here's a good story for you. A dad who claimed he has not been able to stop farting after eating a ham roll at a Christmas market 5 years ago has launched a £200,000 compensation case. Tyrone Prades believes he has suffered a severe and life-changing injury after scoffing the festive ham hock sandwich at the Birmingham Frankfurt Christmas market in December of 2017. 46-year-old says he continues to suffer from serious stomach issues, including chronic flatulence, after contracting salmonella, which left him bedbound for 5 weeks. He's also allegedly kept awake at night by churning noises coming from his belly and wants the Frankfurt Christmas market to pay. However, the company denies blame and claims there was no salmonella bacteria at the ham hock stall, according to documents filed at the High Court of London. He went to the market with his wife and children December 9th, 2017. That is when he ate that ham roll, and he's been farting ever since. Within 24 hours, he was ill, suffering from stomach cramps, fever, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, according to his lawyer. He was bedbound.
Is he just
for
talking
5
about
weeks.
a ham sandwich?
Ham roll, yeah.
Look, in the story, and I don't know, it's England, so they keep calling it a ham hock sandwich or the ham roll.
I don't, yeah.
Either way, he's been farting for 5 years.
Bedbound for 5 weeks, remained ill for months, being described by a medic 7 months later as noticeably pale, very thin, and tired. He began to return to life normal in 2019, but continued to feel lethargic and to suffer from extreme bouts of diarrhea and similar complaints. He said the symptoms are primarily fatigue, altered bowel function associated with churning in his abdomen, and heavy flatulence. He claims he continues to suffer from excessive flatulence, which just causes him a great deal of embarrassment. His stomach continues to make frequent churning noises to the extent that his sleep can become disrupted.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. Stay away from those ham hock sandwiches at the Christmas market in England, Ted.
And how can he narrow it down to one sandwich? Like, I don't know this guy, but like, who goes to a Christmas market and has a sandwich? Like, you're going to probably sneak in a cookie, maybe a little hot chocolate.
Nah, he's blaming a ham hock sandwich.
That's it.
I mean, it looks like just a ham sandwich.
Yeah. Well, he's been farting for 5 years. Suit yourself.
I've been farting for 5 years, but it's not because of one food.
We were just talking about ham. During the break.
Yes, we were.
Well, when's the last time you went out and just said, you know what? I'm in the mood for a ham sandwich. Outside of Easter.
Never.
Right. Like, people get turkey sandwiches all the time. But
that's why it was such a big deal across the street.
No, Jimmy John's. This is honestly got true. There's a whole backstory to this that I won't go through. But
you should, though.
They were out of turkey is the point. I did not realize that like 80%.
They definitely were.
Like 80% of the sandwiches have turkey. So the only thing basically, and I hate vegetables, so I ended up getting the ultimate porker, which is just ham and bacon. And it was fine. Right. But I would not have gotten that if they had turkey.
Yeah, like I'm just thinking in my own refrigerator, like there's often like lunch meat turkey in there. But like, I can't remember the last time I was like, oh, I'll get a thing of ham.
Get roast beef, get turkey.
Yeah.
Just never get ham.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Our question, what is the funniest, dumbest, or most embarrassing way that you ended up in the ER? 206-421-ROUND.
Hello, Annie. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, it's Danny.
Hello, Danny. Welcome to the men's room.
Hi. Okay, so I was outside in my backyard, and we were having a fire and drinking and everything, and I had to go pee. So instead of going like 5 feet to the door to go in the house and use the bathroom, I go behind my shed because we were like talking and I just didn't want to leave. And my boyfriend at the time was like, just go in the house. Don't go behind the shed. Just go in the house. And I'm like, no, it's fine. So I go behind the shed and I'm squatting down and I'm peeing. And then somewhere in there, I fell backwards and fell onto like a pile of bikes, you know, and I was just like, okay, it's fine. It hurt really bad, but I didn't really think nothing of it. Like, it didn't hurt terribly. The next morning, I woke up, and it was like excruciating pain, but I couldn't call into work because I was working in the flower department, and it was like Mother's Day or something like that. So I had to go in, and it got worse and worse, and I'm like, I can't squat, I can't bend down, I can't, like, barely breathe. Like, it was terrible pain. So I go into urgent care. I think I left work early finally, went into urgent care and fractured my tailbone really, really bad. Like, it wasn't broken, but it was close.
Damn.
Oh, so you hit the ground before you hit those bikes.
I have no idea. I just fell, and I remember there was like a big crash, and he's like yelling, I freaking told you, just go in the house. And I'm like, I'm fine, it's not a big deal. And yeah, it was painful for weeks and weeks. Like, I couldn't even sit or nothing.
That's why you pee in the house. Well,
I know.
I mean, look, I pee outside all the time, but I don't have to squat. I don't know that I've ever squatted when I peed for any reason at all.
No.
But, like, if I got to squat, I'm looking for a toilet, right? That's my general rule. If I got to squat, I would rather have a toilet under me.
I'm just trying to picture myself now just kind of squatting while trying to pee. Like, I'm hiding. Like,
Which
yeah.
almost makes it
just not doing anything over here.
You'd have to do a tuck. You'd have to do a tuck to make sure you didn't get your pants wet. Because, like,
maybe I've
I mean, like, if you get in a catcher stance.
Yeah, but if you tuck, you're going to pee
like
directly into the ass of your underwear.
In a squat position. So
I'm trying to imagine just squatting.
You peeing forward on a squat?
You still got to pee forward.
Yeah, I gotta pee. Why would you tuck, man? I just yes, we are all squatting and trying to get our heads.
I mean, maybe we're
going to pee back into your own pants, man.
Yeah, maybe you're at a tailgate and you're trying to just duck between two of them. I don't know.
You know what? I have done that before in a parking lot. Yeah, sorry, not a tailgate. I don't remember what parking lot, but yeah, kind of squatted between the cars. Because there's other people walking around. So, yes, I have squatted and peed. I stand corrected.
Also, she's right. Like, it's so simple to walk in the house, but if you're drinking beers, you're sitting around a fire.
Time.
Right, I've done it too, and it's like you couldn't walk 2 feet into the house. Everybody could see you over there peeing.
Yeah, that's true.
What is the funniest, dumbest, or most embarrassing way that you ended up in the ER? 206-421-ROCK. Everybody off. Like to take out the amusement park, ride the rides, having a good time. Springfield, Massachusetts woman is suing Six Flags and the theme park in upstate New York after she says she fell down a small hill that was covered in geese poop and broke her ankle. The lawsuit filed in the U.S. District Court last month shows the woman is seeking $250,000 as a result of the incident. By the way, I've broken my right ankle twice, my left ankle once, and sprained them both about 3 or 4 times equally.
Any goose poop involved?
No, but I didn't think they were worth $250,000. I never would have had to work a day in my life.
Sports or just like randomly?
Sports and running. I was always doing something. Sometimes playing basketball, whatever. Back in July 2019, lawsuit alleges that the plaintiff was at the Six Flags Great Escape Lodge and indoor water park with her family when they decided they wanted to go to the outdoor water park. In asking a staff member at the park how to get there, they were allegedly told to use the emergency exit, go across the street. When outside, the woman and her family saw a paved lot and a road with a small grassy incline. Well, not able to see any sidewalk or walkway, the plaintiff and her family walked down the grassy incline that bordered the paved area. The grassy incline was not steep and did not give rise to any concerns. The grass did not seem wet, damp, or slippery, but was covered in goose poop. The woman wearing sandals at the time, and she and her family walked down the incline. As she was traveling and traversing the small grassy area, she reportedly slipped and took the fall. The woman said she immediately felt the pain in her left ankle.
Yeah, that's what happens when you break your ankle.
And it began to swell. An EMT was sent over by park staff. An ambulance called. An X-ray revealed the broken ankle. The fall, the plaintiff alleges in the suit, prohibited her from being able to work as a real estate agent. She reportedly tried to settle the matter outside of court, but the park denied it. So the lawsuit alleges that the park had a duty to use reasonable care to hire, retain, and supervise its employees, agents, or service that were competent to fit to perform the duties required.
I think they just wanted to keep saying the word duties because she slipped and poop.
That's a good point. Our question, what is the funniest, dumbest, or most embarrassing way that you ended up in the ER? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Chris. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
All right, so I was in basic training. I ended up in the ER 2 different times. One for, like, busting my face open, and the other for being so constipated that I threw up.
But, like, you couldn't poop, so your body just started making you throw up.
Yeah.
What was in you? What was blocking you, man?
Everything that I had apparently eaten.
How long were you constipated?
See, I didn't even realize I was until I went to the ER and they showed me the x-ray.
Wait a minute, hold on.
How many days did you go without pooping?
I mean, it was the same day. Like, I mean, I hadn't even gone a whole 24 hours.
Okay, all right. Okay.
So there's no reason to think you're constipated. You start throwing up, you go to the ER. They take the x-ray. When they show you the x-ray, there's what, just like compacted waste?
Yeah, pretty much.
What did you eat? If it's in 24 hours, you know at least what you put in your body.
I mean, as far as I remember, I mean, most stuff they make, especially for the military, involves chicken.
All right.
Well, it's tough, too, as he's in basic, right? So, like, when you got some dude just barking at you, being like, go eat. And you eat, and then you got to, like, do it quick and stuff. So it'd be hard to pinpoint what the, what was the bad thing.
Did you get nervous about eating after that?
A little bit. Like, yeah. I started taking a little bit less food.
And did they have to give you an enema, or did they give you something you could drink and work it out that way?
Both.
Was it a substantial amount more than normal, being that it was still just 24 hours? I mean, you're blocked, but I mean, was it just a normal bowel movement, or was it like, wow, okay,
no? I was on the can for like 45 minutes straight.
Damn.
Giving birth to this thing, or just it kept coming out?
I wouldn't call it giving birth anymore, because at that point it had all become liquefied because of the enema.
Okay, that is much better.
I have been on the toilet for a long period of time based on that scenario.
But that's, to me, that's always a better scenario than, no. It's 45 minutes of one struggle.
Mm-hmm. The day before my colonoscopy, drinking that stuff, man, I don't know what the hell that stuff is, but geez a whiz.
And you said you could go, maybe 10 minutes before you'd go back?
I'm saying you can't go 25 feet away from a bathroom when it starts kicking in.
Damn.
You want to be very, very close. I mean, very, very close. I mean, I was walking with my butt cheeks all tight, like, just shuffling along on the floor. It's like, oh, no.
And didn't BD come over for something, right?
Oh, yeah.
And you're just, pooping basically the whole time?
I pooped the entire time. We were trying to put in a sink faucet for me, and I just couldn't stop pooping. I mean, I'd be like, dude, I'm sorry, I got to come back in there and poop again. I come back, try to help him for like 3 minutes, and I bend over to look at the sink, I was like, oh, God, I got it back. Like, anytime I moved in a different way, you know what I mean? Like, if I bent over, tried to do something.
Yeah.
Oh, God, there's more. What is the funniest, dumbest, or most embarrassing way you ended up in the ER? 206-421-ROCK.
I had one a couple months ago. Same thing. I just couldn't stop pooping. So finally I went home and it's like, I got to take an Imodium.
Is that what it works?
Yeah.
Kind of stopped you up a little bit?
What's that? Yeah, it's just like if you just have diarrhea, it'll just help you out.
Right.
It's good to know these things. Mm-hmm. I hate that I need to know them, but I need to know them. Hello, Steve. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
All right, so I got a good one for you fellas.
All right.
So I was charter fishing out in Westport, and we had the next day off. So one of my customers invited me over to a barbecue. We went over and started drinking, and I brought over my own fifth of Jack Daniels, and we got drinking, and next thing you know, he pulls out his gas-powered mountain bike that he custom built and made himself, and he was riding around, and he's like, want to take a ride? And by this time, I'm probably 3/4 of the way through my fifth of whiskey. And I was like, I remember, like, heck yeah, I'd take a ride. So I hopped on this thing, went blasting around. The next thing I remember, I woke up next to it. The bike's going ting, 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 still running. I'm all wiped out. My bottle of whiskey is laying next to me. I'm all messed up. I was like, got up and I knew I was messed up. So I finished off probably had a couple good swigs of whiskey left. So I finished that off and
it's the man's way. Right. I'm in pain. There's whiskey in hand.
This is the way.
I'm drinking it.
This is the way.
Yeah, the Mandalorian.
The alcoholian.
So I rode the bike back to the house, and the next day, he told me that the bike, he's like, I don't know how you rode it home, but the seat was totally sideways. The handlebars were all like totally crooked. He's like, I don't know how you rode it home. He's like, I don't know either. I hardly remember it. But I had to call my wife and come down and take me into the hospital. I ended up having a broken collarbone. And then the next day I was out on the charter boat in a sling, flaying fish, taking them off the hook, doing my normal deckhand duties, but just in the sling. Luckily, it was my left shoulder, and I'm right-handed. So,
well, let me ask you this: did he modify this with a 50cc motor?
I don't know the CC on it, but it could do probably 45.
That sounds about right.
About right.
Miles per hour.
Well, I mean, it sounds like it was a nice thing until you totaled it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still. I mean, just move the seat back to where it was and the handle. I didn't bend anything. It just turned the seat sideways and turned the handlebar sideways. But he's like, I don't know how you rode it home like that. And I'm like, I don't know either. I just knew I was messed up and I needed flight or die.
Mm-hmm. It probably helped that you were drunk if the handlebars were that crooked.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the alcohol definitely helped.
Well, let me ask you this. What do you guys do when you're on a boat and something really bad happens, as far as from a medical standpoint?
Well, there's been a few times, at least one occasion, where we've actually had to airlift a guy off where he was having heart issues.
And I'm assuming that based on the size of the boat, that helicopter cannot land on the boat. So you got it where they sit on like a harness?
No, they have to hover above and they send the basket down.
Yeah, it's always going to get
when that helicopter's hovering above you, I mean, you have to get everybody and everything off the deck. You're like 100-mile-an-hour plus winds is blowing down on you.
Okay, but then how do you get, because you're still obligated to get that dude in there, or does the Coast Guard drop someone down?
Yeah, they drop a guy down and they take care of, they have a paramedic that comes down and asks the guy, and then
all right, let me ask you this. How long does it take you guys, if it's something that serious or severe, how long does it take you guys to determine that it's that serious or severe?
I mean, usually when something happens, it's probably within the first 10 minutes that you know something's bad, and then the captain's on the radio calling the Coast Guard. But then it takes the Coast Guard at least 30 minutes to gather up everybody, get the chopper in the air.
Right, I mean, it's got to be the same thing, right? You've been out with buddies or, I don't know, playing pickup something, and somebody gets, I don't know how to explain it. You just
kind of know when it's real bad.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, man, we got to call somebody.
Right. Where are you fishing out of?
Out of Westport.
Okay, all right, okay. Yeah, I think that would be really strange. Like, what is your job? Well, I'm a paramedic, but I fly in helicopters, and they lower me in a bucket, get on boats, and pull people out of the water.
That's the one who gets people buying them. Like, you can take an EMT, right, and you say, hey, man, I save lives. I've driven all over Seattle. I saved 4 people to go. Good on you. And that's the end of the conversation. You say, well, I'm a Coast Guard paramedic, but I'm the dude that you see on TV getting lowered out of the helicopter. It's like, dude, buy this guy a drink. You saving it? I lost every victim we tried to help, man.
See, to me,
all of them died.
For some reason,
you're getting a drink.
No disrespect to the Coast Guard, any stretch, but I would just have to think that if there was a branch of the military that I would think like, okay, maybe I can do this. Maybe I'm cut out for this because it's not too hard. Like, it sounds to me like it might be one of the hardest things you could possibly do.
I think maybe their initial training might be a little better, but look, my brother was actually recruited by the Coast Guard Academy.
I couldn't do that wall.
He met, because they tried to go for the really smart guys, and my brother's a really smart guy, and they invited him up, and the whole family drove to New Haven, Connecticut, New London, Connecticut. I think it's New London, whatever. But we go to the Coast Guard Academy. We're there for hours. I remember walking in. I'm a kid. They give me a Coast Guard baseball cap. I'm just like, oh, hell yeah, man. And we're pretty sure. My parents are already proud.
New London.
It is New London. All right. So my parents are already proud that my brother more than likely is going to be in the Coast Guard. I mean, they wanted him. So when they gave us a tour of the academy, they show us only the cool stuff, right? So, I mean, all the helicopters and Coast Guard guys walking down. And I'm like, this is pretty badass. No doubt about it. And then we watched this film. The film's only like 15 minutes. And it just shows some of the things that Coast Guard trainees have to do. And a lot of it's academic, and then they show some of the things on the boat, some of the crap in the helicopter, the swimming test, blah, blah, blah. But the last thing in this video, they take some kind of like cutter-style ship out there, and there's a cargo net, and I believe it was like I don't remember how many feet up it was, but the last thing you had to do was climb up this cargo net. And the ship has gone out to sea, right? So you're not doing this dry dock, man. This thing, it is out in the ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, and it shows the camera view from. So the idea was you climb up the cargo net, throw your leg over the
oh,
over
God,
the top.
no, man.
But then climb down the other side.
Now.
Yeah.
So they show the guys that are training and doing it, and obviously these guys could do it, so it looks real badass. And my brother, at that point, he asked the guy showing us around, he said, is that a requirement? Like, if I do everything else, is that something I have to do? And the guy's like, well, yeah, man. I mean, it's like your final thing to show that you're Coast Guard ready. Because when we deal with stuff, nothing good has happened if you call the Coast Guard, right? Ever. No one calls the Coast Guard because things are great. So they're like, yeah, you got to throw your leg over the top and come down the other side. My brother, immediately, no.
I'm not doing it.
And the guy said, are you
serious?
He said, and that's the only thing he would say. And the guy goes, are you being serious right now? And he goes, yeah. And the guy, look, man, lots of guys get scared. No.
No, I'm looking at this thing right now.
Period.
There's absolutely no way.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not doing that.
He wouldn't do it.
I'm not doing it. I wouldn't do that either.
And that was it. I mean, we went through this whole thing. As a final thing we saw on the tour was that. And that was the end of the game. Just, nope, won't do it. Oh, come on, man.
Here we go.
I mean, I wouldn't do it either, but the Coast Guard didn't recruit me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's still just...
That's terrifying.
That's a lot.
Like I said, I wouldn't do it, but they didn't ask me to. They asked him to.
What is the funniest, dumbest, or most embarrassing way that you ended up in the ER? 206-421-ROCK.
And the Coast Guard, right? Like, you got the Caribbean. That's the part I would like.
I don't know. I know on some, and we've asked military guys this before, like some of the higher ranking guys, like, look, you can go to San Diego, you can go to Alaska, you can go to Hawaii. There's no way you can tell me anything you want, I'll just never believe you. I feel like I would make that decision a lot on bias. I like
the
Ted
idea.
Smith. Right. No, he met the requirement for whatever reason. He rubs me the wrong way. Smith, Alaska. And it's because I hate you. Montgomery, San Diego. I liked him all right.
But some of those guys want to. That's what I'm saying.
If you want to,
like,
sure.
I'd like to be on a cutter cruising through, but also, like, those guys in the Caribbean, like, you're still dealing with massive cartels and this and that are shooting at you.
Want to be there, right? Because with the Caribbean, it's all the drug runners, and they're not scared to shoot at your ass.
Yeah.
I'd like to be the dude that drops out of the helicopter, but here's the truth. No.
Right, okay.
I'm not climbing down that rope, dude.
Right, so, like, I've known some Navy SEALs over the years, and I was talking to one buddy, and I said something to him like, wow, you probably don't get super scared about stuff. Like, it's a pretty tough life you lived. And he's like, yeah, when you jump into the ocean out of a perfectly good working airplane and it's dark out, he's like, I was still scared.
Yeah.
He's like, I just was trained to do it.
Isn't that why they always say, remember your training, not don't be scared, right? Just remember your training. In other words, we know you're terrified.
Right, so like that guy for the Coast Guard, he is trained to go down in that basket or be a rescue swimmer. But like every time he does it, like he's still got to be like, all right, jumping into 30-foot seas.
Well, yeah, I mean, they showed some of these ships that are in distress, like the Bering Strait or something, these massive waves and the boat's rocking. And I'm thinking, so this dude in the helicopter, I know he's presenting that he's calm because you want to keep everyone else calm. Mm-hmm. There is no effing way he's okay with this.
And where do you train? The wave pool at Six Flags? I mean, like, seriously.
Right. Where do you recreate
You got to go that? You got to go up in that and train up in that to be able to do that. So you got to go there even when nothing's wrong, just to make sure right. And in the worst possible time.
Dude, I've seen some of it because like on Deadliest Catch, they'll show it. And they've got him in like these contraptions in like these deep pools. And it's like, all right, hold your breath. They're just like flipping the dude over and like start the timer. And he's got to figure out like how to get out and do all this stuff.
Oh, God, no thank you.
Yeah. No.
What is the funniest, dumbest, or most embarrassing way that you ended up in the ER? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Melanie. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
So I was working at a local bar and grill in Silverdale, and I was working support, and I was taking food out, punching the tickets, and I went to go take food out the window, and I put a ticket on the ticket stabber, and it started to fall, so I went in to go catch it, and I caught it, and I immediately lifted up into the window and went into my hand, right in the middle of my hand.
Oh,
Yeah.
Did it penetrate the skin and go through?
Oh, it didn't go through, thank God. But my coworker drove me to the hospital. They had to give me a tetanus shot. They came out with this huge needle, and they were like, all right, we got to give you a tetanus shot. And I was like, that's a big needle.
that's going through my hand, not in my hand.
They have to, and what's amazing, I worked in restaurants for 12 years, right? And always in the kitchens, and people burn themselves and cut themselves all the time, every day. Rarely did anyone after go to the hospital, unless they cut off a digit or just bled profusely, right? We had one guy that went for a burn because he threw a bunch of ice into a, the deep fryer. We told him not to, and he decided to do it. It blew all over, and nobody felt bad. It's like, hey, skinless face, you need to go to the ER. But the 3 times I remember people going to the ER, they did exactly what you did. And we're like, in theory, you have the safest job in the restaurant.
Didn't you have like a boss cut off his finger with the wrong...
He cut off his thumb, yeah.
Jesus, the thumb.
Dude, it was unbelievable.
Did you look down and there was somebody's thumb on the table?
It was on the cutting board. Dude, and again,
my God.
We had all the kind of knives hanging up to a magnet bar. But he grabbed the biggest knife we have. It's a big 17-inch scimitar used to carve meat, all right? Mm-hmm. It is a big... And he's cutting romaine lettuce. And 2 of us said, Joel, man, do not cut lettuce with that. All you're going to do is hurt yourself. Joel's response, he owned a restaurant, old grizzle guy. I liked him, but I know what I'm doing. Fine. We turn our backs and just hear that, I need help. And, right? But you turn around, we thought he needed help, like grabbing something out of the walk-in or some crap like that. We turn around, he's holding his hand. There's blood all over the place. And he's super pale. And then there's this bloody romaine lettuce, and next to the lettuce is his thumb. And it's just like, was
it a clean cut?
It was a clean.
They were able to reattach it.
Yeah, but we didn't see him for a while.
Who picked up the thumb to put it in the bag of ice?
I had to pick up the thumb and put it in the
You picked up
ice.
somebody's thumb and put it in a bag of ice.
Yeah, because one of us had to catch Joel. My buddy Jamie dealt with Joel because Joel was in a bad way, and I'm like, I'm not dealing with him. Just give me. And it's weird, man, because I don't know.
Could you bend the knuckle on it?
I mean, I didn't try, but like you pick it up and it's still like body temperature.
Yeah,
but it's not. I know it's fresh, but like it's not connecting. And we had a bag of ice, actually, it was a bowl of ice, and then we covered that with Saran wrap and sent him on his way.
And next time you saw him, thumb was there.
It was all wrapped up. And by the time we finally got to see his thumb in the flood, there was still like the nylon stitches. And it was like real Frankenstein looking. And it was all discolored and all this. And it's not that I didn't feel bad for him, but I'm like, what did we tell you? We told you, don't use the biggest, sharpest knife to cut the easiest material to cut, man.
I've never had anything like that happen to me at work or anybody I know. Not at work. I mean, bad things have happened.
You never worked in a kitchen.
Correct.
It'd be very odd if somebody cut off their thumb here.
Correct.
I mean, I would think like landscaping, kitchens, obviously the military, construction job, anything where you're using tools. Inevitably, somebody loses. I hope to not see it.
Most people's shop teacher doesn't have a digit or two. So, like, my shop teacher didn't have a digit.
Mine had 9.5.
Yeah, basically that was the same one.
But like none of them. And like, why are you teaching us? Because you did it wrong.
And it was a
like I don't know a lot. I know you know more than me, but clearly at the moment of application, I still have 10 fingers.
Because that's what he would do. He always had, as we went through stations and shop. So it's like band saws, table saws, riders, all these different things. And like whenever the table saw came up, where he was like, see my hand? Table saw.
Oh, specifically the table.
Just remember, table saw.
Jesus.
So you're like extra careful with the table saw every time.
I mean, I think I've only used one like 2 or 3 times in my life.
They can kick up kind of on you.
Yeah, I definitely had a piece of wood fly out of it. Just like, back off this guy.
Did you reuse the thumb bowl? Yeah, we reused the thumb bowl, man.
Oh, well, sure. I mean, you cleaned it out.
Look,
did
think
they
about
return
it like
the bowl?
this. We got the bowl back. Yeah, I mean, it was our property. So, not that we asked them for it, but the bowl did come back. But
thumb bowl.
But think about it like this, man. First of all, there's a lot of things happening in the kitchen you don't even need to know. But half the time we prep, if it's animals or whatever, there's guts, there's blood. It's not human, but there's blood all over everything.
What is the funniest,
just a thumb.
dumbest, or most embarrassing way that you ended up in the ER? 206-421-ROCK. Here's a doozy for you. 4 family members, a mother, a father, a brother, and a sister, they were all stabbed during a fight at their Texas home, according to authorities.
All right.
Deputies with the Harris County Sheriff's Office responded to a call about 10:50 about a family disturbance at a home in the Regional Park Drive area. That's about 60 miles north of downtown Houston. The fight started between 2 adult siblings, a brother and a sister, according to the sheriff, Ed Gonzalez. The brother came home that night intoxicated and armed with a handgun. At this point, he and his sister, they get into a heated argument, which then turned physical, according to Gonzalez. He was disarmed during the struggle, Gonzalez said, and the mother and father then stepped in, attempting to break things up between their son and their daughter. But then the violence only escalated. and each family member grabbed a knife as the fight went on. When deputies arrived at the home, they found all 4 members of the family had been stabbed. Everyone survived. The brother, 25-year-old Manuel Gutierrez, he was arrested on 3 charges of aggravated assault. Our question, what is the funniest, dumbest, or most embarrassing way that you ended up in the ER? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Sarah. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
All right, so this was about 10 years ago. I was visiting family in Pittsburgh, and we went to Kennywood.
Kennywood's great.
Oh, yeah, it's awesome.
I love Kennywood.
Oh, my favorite place to go. I go there every time I visit.
Yeah.
We were on the Phantom's Revenge, and the roller coaster knocked my friend's kidney stone loose.
Oh,
God.
Is that a good thing?
Well, except for the fact that we had to go to the ER in an ambulance from the amusement park, and everybody else just kind of stayed and hung out.
Well, why did you have to go? I mean, be like,
Why did you have
kidney
to
stone,
Yeah,
man.
why did you have to go downtown?
Well, it was actually my boyfriend at the time. He went with me to go visit family.
Okay.
Get out.
So I had to be the good girlfriend and miss out on the fun day because I had also been, at least a half dozen or more times.
So
No, wait, did he know that he had kidney stones?
No, and we didn't know it was a kidney stone until after we got to the ER and they ran tests and all.
So what
had
was
he
the-
just gone pee and gone through the pain, we would have been right back at it, but we didn't know.
So when you say it knocked it loose, was he just in severe pain and said, like, I have to go to the doctor? Could he not get up or what?
He was sweating profusely, throwing up. Like, he was in just so much pain, he couldn't walk anymore, yeah.
That's a shame that Jens couldn't stay for the rest of the day. Do they still have they still have the Thunderbolt?
Yeah, of course. Originally the Pippin from the 1920s, absolutely.
They still got the Jackrabbit?
Still the Jackrabbit, still the Racers.
All right.
And then
good. Kennywood's still Kennywood. How about that log jammer?
They still have the log jammer. They still have Noah's Ark.
I don't really care about that one, but
They did recently open a coaster called the Steel Curtain, inspired by the Steelers.
the Steel Curtain.
I mean, that's on brand for them.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The Steel Curtain. That's
I haven't been on that one yet.
All right. I've never heard anyone have it.
shaking one loose.
Yeah, shaking one loose on a roller coaster.
Why is that area like so big on roller coasters?
Well, that park's been there since like 1920. So they have some of the oldest roller
But I'm
coasters.
saying, because isn't like
on the East
Cedarwood in Ohio, isn't that supposed to be like the mecca of roller coasters?
But I think you had so many amusement parks in that part of the country, and they all kind of exploded at the same time. To Miles's point, like, if you wanted the best roller coasters, back in the wooden days, like, you went there. So I think it behooves them to always up their game. You know what I mean? To always be the place to go to get on the newest, latest, craziest roller
There's
coaster.
Kings Island in Cincinnati. Then if you go north into, basically like Elk County and areas near Erie, Pennsylvania, there's Cedar Falls or Six Flags. They got a million of them up there.
What's the closest amusement
then
park?
Williamsburg, Virginia's got
Right. What's
I was
the
gonna say,
closest to Seattle? Because if you're in
There's
that part,
one in Idaho.
Yes,
What
there
is it?
I don't know. We've looked this up before. But
I know.
It looks like the legit one.
okay, all right, that's
You know,
all I
like-
want to know. Yeah.
Right, because Wild Waves is more of a. They have a couple, but
Yeah, they have a couple of
It's
roller
more of
coasters
a
in it.
water park.
Sure.
My wife's taking the kids to a Wild Waves with a friend, and she's like, "Do you want to go?" I said, "No."
Why not?
I don't.
Oh, man, you'd have a good time.
No, I wouldn't.
Really?
So I just said, you know
Do
what?
you like roller coasters?
Have fun. Sure.
Yeah, well, they've got like 2 or 3.
Yeah, but I got to hang out with a bunch of people at a place I don't want to be.
Okay.
This does not work well.
I had a
Pretty sure they have
buddy.
beverages.
They do, but I had a
definitely
buddy
won't work well.
that had to go there for a bachelor party.
Sweet.
He was beyond pissed.
Why?
Because first of all, it was like a bachelor party and a bachelorette party together, and he's like, this is already stupid. Like, I don't want to be a part of it. And then same thing, he was just like, what are we, 12?
I know.
Like, why are we doing this?
It's like a bachelor party at
It's
Chuck
fun.
E. Cheese.
No, because you got like water slides and
Miles, just stop.
There's a way-
We both know you would, come on.
I went to Atlantis in the Bahamas just so I could ride water slides all day.
Are we comparing those two things?
Yeah,
The Bahamas,
I didn't really go to
Atlantis, come on.
I didn't really go to goddamn like the beach that much. I just kind of stayed at the amusement park and did that.
But you had a choice. You chose not to. I would never choose to do that. That's all I'm saying.
Look, I'm not
so
against-
with Wild Waves, there's not even the beach option. So, like, no.
Right, like I like going to a water park, but if somebody says I'm doing my bachelor party along with my
I would
wife,
never do that. I would never
at a water park, I would have the same thing my buddy did. Like, come on, man, we're in our 40s. Like, we can just go sit at a bar.
Right. On a beach. If you want to get wet, let's go somewhere and get wet.
What is the funniest, dumbest, or most embarrassing way that you ended up in the ER? 206-421-ROCK.
Silverwood. That's the one over in Idaho.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I do know that name. Hello, Catherine. Welcome to the men's room.
In honor of the weather, I'd like to say warm liquor and sweaty whores, gentlemen.
Oh, well, it feels that way, doesn't it? Yes.
That's about the only two choices I got right now.
Well, good follow-up to the previous story. Also involves kidney stones.
Huh.
I flew to Virginia to buy a car there, and I drove it across the country to San Diego at the time, and I made it across the whole country in about 2.5 days.
God
And I didn't stop other than sleeping at a hotel. I didn't stop at rest stops. And I mean, I wasn't holding it in or anything. I'm pretty good at really not having to pee on road trips.
What kind of what kind of car was this?
It's a old Saab, old tuned Saab.
Oh,
They're
damn.
my thing.
I can't believe it didn't break down.
Yeah, it's kind of a miracle. It broke down later, but it made it across the country fine.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, yeah, 2.5 days, I really didn't move other than to get into a hotel, sleep, and then get going again. And started to have symptoms when I hit San Diego, a lot of, like, pain when peeing, just horrific pain in general, feeling sick, and I tried to bear it out all the way up till I got up to San Francisco. And shout out to my partner, Ben, who should be listening right now because he drove me to the ER, and it turns out I had a kidney stone. And their guess is from sitting all that time and not really peeing too often.
Really? Just
Yeah.
2.5 days?
Damn. I didn't know that happens that fast.
But
All right.
but think about how often you pee in 2.5 days.
Pee a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying, right? Like,
No, you're right. It's
Like, as
just-
soon as she was describing that, I'm like, that sounds bad.
Are you one of those Saab people?
One of those, I mean, I'm a sob person, yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, then yeah. If you're a Saab person, you're one of those Saab
My
people.
dad is a Saab person. He liked the 900, then he bought the 9000.
My brother had a 900 for a while. I'm sorry, man. I just think they're ugly cars. Maybe they're great on the road. I don't know. But when I look at them, I just go, no.
Well, it seems like the engine sits way back on them, so like your feet is underneath the engine, so you get hot driving those cars.
I don't know.
At least
I
the
just-
older ones.
I just, where
by the way,
I grew up. Oh, go ahead.
Catherine, real quick, did your boyfriend drive you to the ER in your new Saab?
Yes, he did.
All right. Well, there you go, man. Yeah.
I was going to say, growing up in College Park, like if I saw someone in a Saab, I just assumed they were going to school in the University of Maryland and they were from New York or New Jersey.
Is that where most of the those cars are from?
I never knew anybody that had one growing up, but as soon as I started working in bars in College Park, I met like 5 dudes that all had them.
You'd be surprised regionally how cars work
I know, it's
just
weird.
within our country.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So you don't find Subarus on the East Coast, period, unless you go into Maine, New Hampshire, and Vermont.
Right. Start heading up there. And
You have
not,
to be
right,
in
not Boston, not
New York,
Connecticut. but-
upper New York, maybe, because of the snow. But other than that, you do not see Subarus. Here you
New
see
York, man, you end up going, it's all Chevy and Ford. Because of the snow, everyone's like,
Trucks or
pickup
Jeeps.
trucks.
Yeah,
Period.
exactly. And
Driving their Subaru.
yeah.
Kiss my ass.
But Miles is right. Like,
you see 'em everywhere.
I don't know I know so many people out here that have them. I don't know anybody back east that have
They
them.
might have an SUV, but but it's not a Subaru. And
Right.
Then, and then here you'll find more like Toyotas and Lexuses. On the East Coast, Nissans are everywhere.
Yeah,
My mom drives a Nissan.
Exactly. It's just
That's a good point.
I don't know why.
Well, same thing with the Saabs. Like, I don't feel like I see a ton of them out on the West Coast, at least not in the Northwest.
I feel like you saw as many Maximas on the road on the East Coast as you see like a Honda Civic anywhere, right? That's the one car that seems universal.
And you see more Mercedes-Benz on the East Coast. You see more BMWs on the East Coast. Just because I think...
But that's their status. We're here. If someone has money, like you could do BMW or that, but like Audi.
Right. But it's also being loyal to your brand with like in a weird way. Like when I go to the Lexus dealer in Bellevue, I'm the only I'm the only white person in there. So most people who buy them are Japanese. When you go to the East Coast, there's so many Germans that live in Pennsylvania, that live in New York, and it's a status thing. BMW, Porsche, all those cars, which are like, if you grew up, your dad had one, your grandfather had one,
right?
man, you're buying the family car that you've always wanted. What is the funniest, dumbest, or most embarrassing way you ended up in the ER? 206-421-ROCK.
Somebody here says Midwest equals Pontiac.
Pontiac?
When's the last time they even made those?
They don't anymore.
They don't.
That's
It's
what I'm
just,
saying.
Just Buick is around.
When did they
There's
stop?
a lot of Buicks.
2000 or 2005, something around there.
Buick is booming in Florida right now.
Buick's
Cadillac
But
and
Buick made a comeback, man. Because remember, for a while, Buick was always known as like the old person car.
Correct.
Florida is going to be the place. But it seems like they started putting out vehicles that people under the age of 114 might buy.
Look, Buicks are great. I love
They're
Buicks.
very nice.
I had a buddy when we were in our early 20s. He had one. We thought it was great. But you're right. For some reason, Buicks always seem to be like the older generation.
Old person car.
Whereas like younger dudes would still rock a Cadillac, but not
sure.
Buicks.
Yeah.
And then I knew somebody that a letter fell off. So we thought it was hilarious. It'd be like, I like your buck.
You also find a hell of a lot more Honda Civics here than you do on the East Coast.
Yeah.
What is the funniest, dumbest, or most embarrassing way you ended up in the ER? 206-421-ROCK.
Right, we were teenagers. We just thought it was the funniest thing ever.
Buck.
Hello, Ray.
Buck
Welcome
Saber.
to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
Hey, so I do landscaping for a living. About 2 years ago, I was power sharing some shrubs in this apartment complex, and I walked right into a whole bunch of spider webs, like right in the face.
Yeah.
I started swatting at them with one hand. Like, there's something about walking into spider webs where you just forget everything. And I started swatting with the hand, and the other hand still had the power shears running full throttle, and I sliced my hand open.
No. Oh, no.
So, yeah, I drove myself to the ER, left a whole bunch of blood everywhere on the plants, and had to get 10 stitches.
Good times.
That didn't seem that bad.
You always know when someone hits that spider. Like, I can see it on the sidewalk when I'm on the balcony.
Everyone has the same reaction.
It's like this weird dance of backing up and just people, hands flailing.
The reflexes that people have. I told my kids yesterday, because I'm watering the lawn, right? Because it's about to get super hot and all this stuff. Doing what I can to stay on top of it. I cannot believe the speed with which spiders make webs, right? Because I'd taken them all down the day before. I go out to water yesterday. By the time I walk in the house, I'm like just swatting in my head. My son's looking at me, and I said, do you know the greatest spider web finder in nature? He's like, and I thought I'm being serious. So my bald ass head. I have walked through about 15 of these goddamn things, but on 14 of the 15 times, I still saw the spider. On one occasion, I don't know where the spider went, so now I just feel itchy.
I got a monster living on my porch right now. He is huge.
Outside, like I said, I'm not happy to see you outside, but it's fine that you're there. If you walk in my home, it's a death sentence.
I'm with you.
That's all it is.
I'm with you. I had a big one out there last fall. I remember we were watching football. So we named him Testudo.
Yeah.
Testudo. Oh, my God.
It's the name of the mascot.
I know.
Mine's been out there for 3 weeks. He's been a 3-weeker. So, he's I've watched him catch bugs. I mean, he's working it.
You didn't give him a name yet?
No. I could call him Barbecue because he basically just attached to my barbecue grill.
You know what? I'm going to start naming my spiders because there's one I started recognizing. It's been 3 days in a row, right? And I got the hose. And homeboy keeps setting up his web in a place where the hose sprays through it. You can tell they get agitated. Mm-hmm. I understand they kind of
mess this up again.
Like, fine. So the other day, I'm out there watering. It's back at the same plant, and I'm trying to get under the leaves, right? Get down by the roots. And same goddamn red spider. And like he had intentionally moved his web, probably piecing together. All right. This big crazy... I almost cussed. Dude.
Who is this?
He's getting loose in here, boys.
He keeps spraying me. So I'm spraying yesterday, and I'm like, ow, dude, I'm sorry, man. I swear to God, he just looks at me like, again, really, man?
You know how long it takes me to do this? I just blow smoke in the web.
Okay, I do that,
just to get him stoned,
You should call him Myron.
Myron?
Like Myron Mixon.
I'm going to say Myron.
The winningest man in competition barbecue.
Oh.
Of course.
How
do we not know that?
Myron Mixon.
Right.
I mean, it doesn't ring like Joey Chestnut.
It really does.
Really?
No, it doesn't.
Or what about the guy, would you know Aaron Franklin if I said his name?
No. Who's he?
He owns Franklin's in Austin. Sometimes it gets voted the best brisket in the country.
Oh.
Aaron Franklin Myron Mixon?
Correct.
Myron
Okay.
You guys got to start watching Barbecue Pitmasters.
No kidding.
So we can come up with spider names.
I just know that one guy we met from Kansas City, maybe?
What was his name?
I don't know.
What was his name? He gave us his book.
Oh, I don't remember.
I remember what he looks like. Even if I saw him on the street, I'd be like...
Because he was with Guy and the other guy. What was the other guy's name? The big guy. Whatever. I don't remember those guys' names. Jeez.
Did you have a ham sandwich at the Christmas market?
I did not have a ham sandwich at the Christmas market.
What is the funniest, dumbest, or most embarrassing way you ended up in the ER? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Andrea. Welcome to the men's room.
Hello.
Hola.
All right, so this one's a little bit different. This is going to be a dumb one. A couple years ago, I was, going about my business, and I coughed. And I look at my cough in my hand, and I'm like, ew, that's like green and brown and red. And
I made an appointment to see my doctor. Didn't hurt or anything. Didn't think it was a big deal.
Real quick question. Quick question. All right.
Yes.
Do you normally? I know people cough into their hand to prevent the spread of germs. Do you normally have goo in your hand after you cough?
Do you deposit in your hand?
Not normally. So this was weird.
Okay, that's good. Okay. That's good.
Yeah. So I was alarmed. I went to my doctor and I even I took a picture because it was gross. And she's like, "Oh dear, honey, you need to go to the emergency room now because it's evident that you've had a pulmonary embolism."
Oh my God. Hang on there.
Once again, bedroom callers, here are the 7 words you can't say on the radio.
That was the one.
Sucker, mother, and please keep those words in mind when calling. Now, back to the program.
Andrea, we completely understand why you said that. We just can't say it on the radio.
For sure. Anyways, so I was like, oh snap, I'm going to the emergency room now. And I get there, I put on their gown, I get hooked up, strapped in, they do an x-ray on my chest. And they take longer than normal to get back, and they're like, "We didn't find anything. Nothing is wrong with you. How, what do you do on the recreation, right?" And I'm like, yes, I smoke. They're like, "Yeah, but how much? Because we think it might be too much." It had basically stained my lungs, and I was just hacking up like I was a dirty bomb, basically.
Well, how much do you smoke a day? How much do you smoke a day?
That was going to be a twofer, I know. I think I smoke maybe 2 or 3 grams a day. I buy an ounce a week, and it's gone.
Oh, so you don't smoke cigarettes?
No, just weed.
Oh.
So let me get this straight.
Yeah.
Your one doctor thought it's a pulmonary embolism. In the end, it's basically just res.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
that's good news.
Yeah, but I had to go to the emergency room, and eventually my bill came back in the mail. It was $1,800.
Yep.
Just be like,
that's a lot of weed.
To find out that you smoke weed.
Okay. All right.
Ounce a week is getting it done.
That is getting
gracious.
That is a lot of weed.
What do you think she sounds like during sex? I don't normally think
it's going to be like
she
this.
Oh,
man, it's going to be like this. I want you to take that thing and stick it. You know where.
You are doing that. Okay. Do it like a dirty blonde.
She had a little O in her there for a minute.
It's like a weird time to rip on blonde women.
You're the one who smokes an ounce of weed. What is the funniest, dumbest, or most embarrassing way that you ended up in the ER? 206-421-ROCK.
Nobody likes keeping track of a wallet full of credit cards with complicated rewards categories. And BECU members like Heather don't have to.
With this card, I don't really spend a lot of time thinking about it. I just use it and pay it. It's pretty simple.
Keep things simple with the Cashback Visa from BECU. No more confusing categories, no more blackout dates. Just 1.5% cash back on every purchase. BECU. Power in people. Member compensated for participation. Cash advances and cash-like transactions do not qualify as purchases. Contact BECU at 800-233-2328 for current product and rate information.
Damn, boy.
That is a grim statistic.
There's some crazy mishaps that sent celebrities to the ER.
Ooh, okay.
Celebrities.
You got your yakety sax.
Oh, Jimmy Fallon's got a couple good ones.
Hey, one time I was opening up a bottle of
Jaeger,
a Fireball, at my house, you see. And
Demi Lovato cut her forehead open with a healing crystal.
Isn't that the exact opposite?
I don't think that's how those are supposed to work.
No.
Halle Berry broke her foot chasing her 3-year-old daughter, who was chasing a goat. It was during a day off while she was filming a movie in Spain.
I think she was in Spain.
Yeah, but her daughter was chasing the goat.
Right.
Why do you got to chase your daughter? Can't you just chase the goat?
No.
Maybe the goat was getting angry.
Because the goat eventually will turn around and ram your child.
Yeah, Miles.
Gal Gadot.
I'm just telling you, man. Goats just goat.
Gal Gadot cut the tip of her finger while day drinking and cooking. Her husband was so grossed out by the severed tip that he threw it in the garbage disposal.
What?
She never got it back.
It's Wonder Woman's finger, man. You can't just throw that in the garbage.
You can't throw any part of her body away.
No, you cannot.
No, you got to save all of it. Don't you?
Yes.
I think so.
Yes.
She's Wonder Woman.
Like, how annoying was she that day? That he was like, you know what? I'm not even saving the tip of your finger?
I'm throwing
Damn.
And it's one thing to even throw it in the trash. You threw it in the garbage disposal.
And it's his wife.
Right.
Like, if it was a person I didn't know, I'd be like, you know what? I'll pick that. I'll help you out with your finger.
What I won't do is throw it in the garbage disposal.
Zac Efron slipped on a puddle outside his home, broke his jaw. It had to be wired shut. What else we got here? Chrissy Teigen bit into a suspicious orange, and her lips swelled up due to an allergic reaction.
What is a suspicious
orange? I don't know. Not sure about that. Catherine Zeta-Jones decorating her home for Christmas when an iron rod fell on her foot and broke it.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. Halsey loading the dishwasher when she slammed the ankle into the open door and fractured it. Candace Cameron Burr suffered a hand.
Full House.
Oh, suffered a
I
hand
only
injury.
know that because I keep reading about her because apparently she's the rudest celebrity that some annoying like Instagram chick has ever.
Oh, really?
That's what she just said. The rudest person I met, the celebrity I like the most, and my crush. But anyway, this chick.
How about this? She suffered a hand injury when her brother Kirk ran over with a golf cart. Now, we've been run over by a golf cart.
Ted had one
You
land on top of
you
him.
ran over my foot, and you ran over my arm with a golf cart before it flipped over and landed on Ted.
Did it?
Oh, yeah, the whole thing went to-doop, to-doop, to-doop. I got thrown out. He got thrown out.
You weren't with us.
No, Christy Shea got, yes.
No, you weren't.
Yes, it was.
You were not in the golf cart.
You were not in the golf
I was on the golf cart
No.
today.
No.
No, it was because I was driving. Was Christy
I thought it was
sitting up front with me?
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's right. She was in the golf cart. I was
Yeah.
behind you.
Yeah, that's
There was three of you in one golf cart.
Correct.
All right, I was behind you in the other one. And you went flying. That's right.
I had to check on Christy Shea because she was a Playboy playmate, right? And this thing jumped over, and she is face that boobs down, basically. Like, oh, man.
She bounced.
So she's kind of giggling. She goes, yeah, I'm all right. Then I hear Ted's voice, hey, jackass! Get the goddamn
I
golf cart
said
off
you
of me.
can't make this turn.
You did. You were right. You were 100% correct, Ted.
Simon Cowell also takes
I have seen some people royally screw up golf carts.
I have been in a couple that have flipped. I thought that was one of them.
No.
I've seen one where a guy went over a cliff and they had to bring an ambulance out and carry his ass out on the golf course.
I have played in a tournament where my brother's two friends, like you're waiting, and you're just like, where are they? Right? And they had been getting into them all good all day. And same thing, they come back, the top's crushed. Like, oh, we rolled it.
Those are not cheap either. They're like $5,000. Simon Cowell lost a tooth in a peanut brittle accident. Our question, what is the funniest, dumbest, or most embarrassing way that you ended up in the ER? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Michael. Welcome to the men's room.
Oh, what's up, guys?
Hola!
I'm so glad to be here. So I really, my wife has been screaming at me to call in. So I'm here, and I hope Ted remembers us. So years ago, I was a shot of the day when I broke up a bank robbery at work, and then a couple weeks later, I met Ted at the horse racing track over by Seattle there.
Emerald Downs.
Yeah. And he was like, hey, man, Michael, right? I'm like, yeah. So we chit-chatted for a few. Totally cool. Anyways, so...
I couldn't have been Ted, then.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So anyways, the story goes like this. There's about 15 years between my wife and I. I'm older. And when we first got together, we were kind of hooking up on the discreet, and I was going at it. I was putting in work like Leah Thomas on a swim meet. And one day we were in the shower, and I had this insane pain in my head. Like, it felt like someone stabbed me with an ice pick. I literally fell out of the shower on the floor. I couldn't see. I couldn't hear.
Wait. This is while you were having sex?
Oh, yeah.
And you fell out of the shower.
Touching the ground. Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's horribly painful. And I was like, I was scared. I was like laying on the bath mat, face down. Like, I'm like, I don't know what to. She's like, and we're new at this. We've like been dating like maybe a week. We're not even really dating.
Yeah, because you're showering together. Yeah, we get that.
Yes. Yeah. We're trying to conserve water.
And not because you're in a hurry.
Yeah, that only happens in the very beginning of relationships.
So Ted, if you remember us, I look like Shrek, and she looks like pre-Shrek Fiona, right? So
all right.
So
that's a beautiful description.
Yeah, right.
I'm trying to get all I can now, like Coke. You go to the party, the Coke is free. You're going to do all you can while it's free. right? So I was a glutton, and I thought I was going to die. So she helped me get into a car, and she's tiny. She's like 100 and some pounds. I'm like 300 pounds. So she helps me get into the car. She drags me into the ER, and they break out the team, right? They get me on a stretcher. I can't hear, I can't see. I'm screaming. I'm holding my head. I think I'm dying. They think I'm dying. So I get this deal where the doctor gets me to stand up, and he does a spinal tap, and she's in the room. She's horrified. She thinks she killed me with her JJ. And
death by vagina.
So I'm screaming, and the doctor's like, push, I need more spinal fluid. Like, it was horrible, man. So that we go through all this thing. A couple hours later, you know how the ER is. A couple hours later, the doctor comes in, and he's just got this. He's trying not to laugh. He has this grin on his face, and he's like, he looks at then, my girl, and he's like, have you guys been together very long? And I'm like, no. And he's like, well, you have coital headaches. He's like, you need to stop doing so much work.
All right. Okay.
There's nothing wrong with you, but we can see what you're doing.
Right.
We don't blame you, but dude, chill.
All right.
Are you?
That's funny.
I would imagine you're more relieved than embarrassed at that point.
Well, I didn't get a chance to relieve because I was falling out of the shower, so we had to pick that up again later. But yeah, I'm glad I wasn't trying to die. But she's been trying to kill me ever since. It will be 13 years here in a couple months. So
yeah, I'd be like, that. Right. I can't. Man, congratulations on having to go to the hospital because you had sex too hard. I mean, basically, to the point that you fell out of a shower.
Did you guys ever see that show? Sex Sent Me to the ER? I don't know if it's still on.
I never watched it, and a couple of the things that ended up like shots of the day came from that show, but I never actually saw it.
All right, so the one that always got me, somebody had a weird fetish with gummy bears. So they got a giant gummy bear made that was 2 foot big.
Okay.
And then they wanted it melted down and poured on them, which isn't the weird part. But for years it's been bugging me, why don't you just melt down a bunch of smaller ones?
Right.
Why did you get one giant one made just to melt down?
Because it's a fetish, Ted.
I guess that's
the little
it.
ones don't do it for him anymore. It's like drugs. You up your own dosage. You start doing more because the little bit you did when you first started doesn't work anymore. It's like, I need a big gummy. Melted down. So what did they went to the ER for burns?
Correct.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, right, but if I could give you 20 bags of gummy bears to equal the amount of one giant one. It just seemed like an extra step that was unnecessary.
I like that your whole take on this. I don't care about your gummy bear fetish. Why not just stick with the regular ones, man?
Correct. And you weren't doing anything weird with the gummy bear. You were just going to melt it down and pour it on you.
You don't think that's weird?
Well, I'm just saying there could be
sex.
But look, if somebody told me I had to special order 2 foot gummy bear for sex, I'd be like, whoa, what are you doing to the bear?
That's my first question. I just want it melted up.
But if you say you're going to melt it down, I'd be like,
it's going to cause some damage.
Okay.
What is the funniest, dumbest, or most embarrassing way that you ended up in the ER? 206-421-ROCK.
Yes.
Hello, Kyle. Welcome to the men's room.
Hey. Hola, guys.
Hola.
So, this happened to me about 10 years ago, and it was embarrassing in more ways than one. I was climbing a tree with my nephew, and I had on some of those, swimming trunks to get the built-in underwear. And I slid down it accidentally, and I ended up getting a sliver that came up through my scrotum.
Oh! Sorry.
It's about 7 inches long, and it just impaled me. Yeah, and it's one of those things you're not going to pull out yourself. So then we went to the ER, and the doctor's assistant, the nurse, was this girl I had a crush on all the way through high school. So there was another moment, and I wasn't looking too proud, you're not going to be proud at that moment down there.
No, you're in pain.
Yeah, so that was my moment, and I still kind of hear about it here and there from some buddies of mine.
How's everything downstairs? Back to normal?
Oh, back to normal. It just grazed one of the marbles,
How long was your quote unquote recovery?
Oh, recovery? Honestly, I I was sore for a week and a half, 2 weeks. I mean, I think getting the vasectomy is a little bit better than that, you know?
Well, yeah, because that's by professional doctors.
Yeah, I mean, it's
not an unexpected splinter.
Different sticking a needle through your...
Yeah, and that splinter was probably half the size of your pinky, you know? I mean, it was good size.
I've never had a splinter there and hope not to. Golly, man.
What is the funniest, dumbest, or most embarrassing way that you ended up in the ER? 206-421-ROCK. Jesus.
Hello, Jeremy. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
All right, so this was probably about 15 years ago. It was about this time of year. Tom out. I went over to my buddy's apartment, and I was drinking 7-7s out of a pitcher. You know, I'd take like a pint, and then like a pint of like Sprite or whatever, just pour it up, and we're good to go. Right? So like we're out smoking, kind of messing around. He said something, I kind of pushed him, and then like he kind of bumped into his window, single pane, and this thing just shatters, right? So I'm like, it's all good. I'll get you another one. So I turn around to the neighbor, and I kind of acted like I was going to shake the window out, and the thing exploded in my hand, and just like totally cut up my left index finger.
How bad was it?
It was a gash. I mean, it was probably about ½ inch, you know, like from my knuckle. I mean, I don't know what knuckle's what, you know, that proportion to my finger, you know.
Yeah, and then when you're drinking alcohol, it's just going to bleed and bleed and bleed.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And I was pretty lubricated at the time, you know, so I didn't really feel it. So I was like, he said, man, we should go to the hospital. And I was like, nah, I think I'm all right. And then
that works.
Was it still bleeding 10 minutes later?
Oh, yeah, probably worse.
Yeah,
I did this thing where I was...
I don't mess with glass, man. That's because, I mean, it is such a clean, quick, deep cut.
It's amazing how fast it explodes with temperature, too.
Right.
Because I had a nice bong that I got. I was going to clean it out for the first time. I was running hot water in to get rid of some of the, the gunk inside the bong.
Yeah.
The resin and stuff. But it was just getting too hot in there to be able to, work with it. So I was like, all right, I'll just turn the cold water on now, you know what I mean? So I can get in there.
Mm-hmm. Boom. Right.
Yep. Look at my hands are just covered in blood. Like nothing I had to go get stitches or anything, but I'm just like, you've got to be kidding me. Like I'm cutting like 6 different places.
It's amazing. Glass I stepped on a piece of glass the other day, pulling the carpet up off the stairs. Did not realize there's this little sliver of glass, and I was barefoot at the moment, but it's the carpet, so I don't think there's anything there yet. I stepped down, it was like, and then you prevent yourself from putting all your weight down. I lift my foot up, and I mean, it's like an inch shard of glass, and pull it out of my foot, a little bit of blood, good to go.
I'm still finding glass in my living room from when my slider door exploded.
Really?
Yep.
That was just 4 years ago?
Sometimes it'll just be between 2 pieces of wood and the hardwood.
Jesus, man.
I'm just like, I can see when the light hits it now, like, oh, there's another shard of glass. What is the funniest, dumbest, or most embarrassing way you ended up in the ER? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Cole. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
So I actually have 2 stories, and I'll try and keep the first one brief.
All right.
So when I was about 8, I was walking up the ramp up to my parents' house, and I was holding a bunch of fishing gear, and I tripped and got the fishing hook stuck in the end of my finger, and I got the barb under my skin too. And of course, being 8, I was bawling my eyes out. But I had to go to the ER, and that was embarrassing. And anyways, I'd say funnier story, but it was traumatic for me. When I was 11. We had just got our first family cat, and my dad said that we built the cat house together, and a week had passed, and we had to build it, and I had decided, I'm going to take this into my own hands. And the first cut I made, it was just the way I had things angled. I cut my knee open, and it was, I'm not sure how familiar you guys are with carpentry, but it was a skill saw.
Okay, familiar enough to know that.
Yeah. Just missed the kneecap. Any deeper, I would have hit the bone, and any other direction, I would have hit an artery. So the doctor, I think his exact words were, I hit the sweet spot. He also mentioned that any lower, I would have had to get my leg amputated.
Jesus.
Good Lord. Why do doctors do that?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's
Tell you
just
how close you were.
You almost died.
How bad it, like, man, I'm not interested in what could have been. We are now past that. Just tell me and I'm convinced that doctors just do this so that they have some bad news to tell you. No matter what, it doesn't matter what you go to the doctor for. If you'd waited another 20 minutes, I would die. Sure, I know.
Do you think there's ever somebody that dies in the ER and they're like, well, if he'd come in 2 minutes earlier, he'd be
we
fine?
could save his ass. No,
right? But
would you say that to the family?
No.
Hey, we tried to save your kid. We
No.
couldn't do it. If you'd just gotten here 2 minutes earlier, but keep in mind, if they save your life, they'll let you know if you got here 2 minutes later, you'd have been dead. It's always about how you would have been dead.
Maybe that's what I'm saying. Maybe they just can't help it because they're just shocked. Like, oh, man, you look messed up.
2 minutes. You'd have bled out.
What is the funniest, dumbest, or most embarrassing way that you ended up in the ER? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Wendy. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bicholas.
Hola.
Okay, so a while ago, like 50 billion years ago, I went to a bar with my friend, and she wanted to smuggle in a bottle of wine. So when we're coming out, she didn't want to take it. I'm like, I'm not going to lose this alcohol, so I smuggled it back.
Did you drink it successfully in a bar?
Yeah, I put it under my coat.
You guys brought a bottle of wine to a bar and drank the bottle of wine in the bar.
Half of it, yeah.
Huh.
I'm guessing early 20s, you're broke.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was one of those twist off bottles.
Sure.
All right. Yeah.
So obviously, I'm not corking it.
Well, you can't. I don't think you could recork it because you didn't tell them.
There, yeah.
Right? You weren't like some places are like, we have a corking fee. You can bring in your own wine. Like you guys are just bringing in white wine.
You
and
got
by the way,
fee.
you don't have to tell us it was white wine. We already know.
It's a screw job.
Yeah, and you're right. We were poor, so.
We've all been there, man.
Right.
So what ended up happening?
So I'm wearing these wedges, and I fell on the bottle of wine, and it slit my wrist.
Oh, God.
Now, does the bar take sympathy on you knowing that you just cut yourself on contraband?
Actually, yeah, they did. The bouncer took me to the emergency room.
Damn. You must have been sexy Wendy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty tall, so I'm like 5'10", so.
Yeah, sexy Wendy.
Yeah, you're not ugly.
Yeah.
Because I'm the bouncer. You brought contraband into my bar. You cut yourself on it. You're bleeding out. I'm taking you to...
There's two calls. I'm calling you an Uber or on your phone
right.
with your account or...
Well, and I didn't want to go because I didn't... Like, the guy before me said, you're drunk. You don't feel anything. I didn't know I did that. But my friend looks at me and goes, no, you need to go. Because my blood was pumping out of my wrist to my heartbeat.
Jesus. Yeah, that's a problem.
That is a problem.
But again, when you're drunk, you don't really take all these things into account, right? So, it'll stop on its own. It doesn't hurt.
Still to come, Ryan Castle joins us once again. We'll sit and spin from his basement dungeon studio bar. Today we get the top 10 band-selling T-shirts of all times. And your emails on the way next from the men's room at KISW.com.
Nobody likes keeping track of a wallet full of credit cards with complicated rewards categories. And BECU members like Heather don't have to.
With this card, I don't really spend a lot of time thinking about it. I just use it and pay it. It's pretty simple.
Keep things simple with the Cashback Visa from BECU. No more confusing categories, no more blackout dates. Just 1.5% cash back on every purchase. BECU. Power in people. Member compensated for participation. Cash advances and cash-like transactions do not qualify as purchases. Contact BECU at 800-233-2328 for current product and rate information.
Our question, what is the funniest, dumbest, or most embarrassing way you ended up in the ER? And here come those emails from the men's room at KISW.com.
You've got mail. You've got mail.
What the hell, couple from today. Old Bachola's doing some cleaning, organizing in my shed one day, was moving yard tools, etc. I was sweeping up dirt and grass from the floor. Well, I moved my axe and leaned it against the wall with a blade on the floor. Also moved some other things. They shifted, knocking over the axe. It fell and kind of rolled somehow, and the blade grazed the back of my calf and ankle. It didn't hurt at all, but I looked down and saw blood flowing. I thought, oh, God. I called my wife and asked for a paper towel and Band-Aids. She came and saw the blood flowing and said, oh, my God, we are going to the ER. Cut to the ER, getting a tetanus shot, rust scraped out of the wounds, and 3 bent stitching needles trying to give me 15 stitches. Because I'm a cyclist, and they couldn't get through the muscle to do the stitches. Anyway, pro tip when clearing the shed, take everything out of the shed and then clean. Love the show. That from Troy.
That's true, man. You cyclists, your freaking calves and all that crap.
Monstrous.
I know.
It really, you can always tell a guy who rides bikes. Like if they put on a pair of shorts and they're walking through the grocery store, like, that dude rides bikes.
Guys, I once had to take my wife into the ER late one night after we had sex because of the ring that I was wearing. It was no longer on my penis. After an hour of attempting to retrieve it, we both know it was time to go to the ER. This was mid-pandemic, so I couldn't go back in my room with my wife, but she did tell me the ER doctor was a large-handed black man that was tasked with retrieving it. From Sam the Fish. Well, at least he can find it, probably. More than likely.
Yeah, just lay still, girl.
Here's a good segue. Let's move on to the birthdays. Hold on, gentlemen. I want to wish my youngest daughter, Lindy, a happy second birthday. She keeps everyone on their toes and can wreck a room in a matter of seconds. But she is the sweetest little toddler there is. We love you, Lindy Lou. Love Dad, Mom, Evan, McKenna, and Bubba, too. Can she get a little kid fish sandwich, a Wendy Williams, and an owl hitting the window? Thanks, guys. That from Mark in Spokane, Washington.
Fish sandwich!
And it's not Wendy Williams.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, it was Wendy Williams.
Yeah.
What was the last one? The owl?
Yeah. Oh, boom. Money. All the men's room today is my much younger wife, Chrissy's birthday, and she would love a happy Chinooka and a suck-it-up cupcake. And if time, the dirty Germans telling her about their favorite water sports to beat the heat. Have a good one, guys, and thanks for all the laughs. That from Dan, the old man.
Just be patient.
Mm-hmm. Happy Chinooka.
That's a good one, Smokey. Only you.
That was a personalized one.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, my favorite water sports to beat the heat. Actually, for me, it's just get in the shower to beat my meat.
Yeah, you know, the nighttime cold shower is good. I also like the rivers and the ladies and the fellas.
Ben just hoping to wish my beautiful wife a happy 33rd trip around the sun. She is an outstanding mother and an amazing wife. I'm truly lucky she puts up with me. May we please get a big old bong rip? And the dirty Germans talking about the present I'm going to give her after I get home for moving furniture all day at work. That'd be rad, boys. Thank you so much. Thankfully, that from Justin.
Yeah, tonight, after a long day of moving furniture and all of this heat, your husband is going to come home and give you the gift you've always wanted. A 6'4" black man.
Yeah, it'll be like when they bring in the new couch. Then they flip you around and spin in the bottom pegs.
Yeah.
By the way, found something.
Happy Chinooka.
Oh, nice.
Mine was pretty close.
Yours was pretty good, man.
That's fine. Guys, today's my beautiful wife, Joanna's 38th birthday. How about some green beans? And the dirty Germans saying what they'll do to her tonight. She's part owner, by the way, guys, of a painting company. That is from the husband, Mark.
Man, Mike's good at this.
Well, he knows where they are.
Correct.
That helps.
It goes a long way.
Yeah.
Green bean.
Yeah.
Green bean.
Friendly time to remind you that the Men's Room Green Bean T-shirt is on sale now at the Rock Shop at KISW.com. It's a T-shirt with a can of beans on the front. Pick yours up today.
Yeah, for your birthday, we have the ultimate gift. I understand that you run a painting company. Well, tonight I'm going to paint your face white.
Yeah, so you know what goes good with the green beans? Those little cocktail weenies that are in the red sauce. You're going to see one tonight.
Yeah, how about some black beans?
Ooh, green beans, black beans, and that one tiny little red cocktail weenie.
Oh, yeah, I say my dad is turning 60 years old. I think that officially makes him a dinosaur. Can you guys give him grief about reaching this milestone? Thanks, that from James. I don't think you're a dinosaur at 60.
I'm not going to give you grief getting there because
right.
I haven't made it there yet, and I hope I live long enough to do so.
It's going to happen fast.
Yeah. Old man.
Yes, exactly.
Although you were great in Jurassic Park. Don't let anyone tell you different.
All right, guys, here we go. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday to you, to you, to you.
Ya's a Dirty Germans brought to you by Men's Room Original Sausage. Available through Uli's World Famous Sausage, mensroomlive.com, and other fine retailers. Schweinefleisch.
Thank you, Wobbin. We appreciate it. By the way, Wobbin went to the ER because she was trying to open up a jar of pickles one time.
That is a true story.
That is a true story. She cut the living hell out of her hand.
Yeah.
I think the glass jar just exploded on her.
Correct.
I think she was, twisting it, and then as she twisted it, she twisted her hand into it, kind of.
No, I think that lid was basically just embedded in the glass. So it was so tight when she turned it and finally got it loose, the whole thing just exploded. Because it was still locked.
Don't eat pickles.
What do you think? You know, I know that was our question. What do you think more people show up with? Like serious stuff, or like not that that's not serious, but like mistakes.
I think it's mostly mistakes.
Oh, yeah. No one wants to be there.
Like I say, if you're in a car accident, of course, right?
Like car accident, or you fall out at home or something. Like I expect those people to show up.
But here's the, I feel like if I'm in the ER, if I'm in the waiting room, everyone who's still sitting in the waiting room, you made a mistake. The ones who got like they've already gotten pushed through. So like everyone here, we did something stupid.
Mm-hmm. All the guys catching up on your podcast from last week on the Odyssey app, if they're still there. You were talking about beating the odds. Well, I had open heart surgery when I was 5 years old. I was told I would not see 20. Would probably never get married or have a family of my own. Well, joke's on the amazing doctors
you're ugly.
at Children's Hospital. Yeah, joke's on those doctors. As I turned 33 this past June, my daughter will be 4 this upcoming December. I got married last week. My wife is a huge Swiftie, and our first dance was Lover by Taylor Swift. Number 2 on your top 10 dumbest song lyrics list of all time. I could never show her that list, but I thought it was hilarious. Love the show. Thanks for the laughs. That from Nick. What else we got?
Nice job there, Nick.
Yeah. Things I wish I hadn't seen. Only you sexy bitches. Again, catching up on the podcast on the Odyssey app. Damn, I wish I would have called in for this one. So about a year ago, I was at school in the shiny cesspool of Binghamton, New York. One evening, walking back from dinner, I heard a commotion down the alley in front of me. As I got closer, I looked to my left and saw a homeless guy having karaoke from an equally lovely lady behind a dumpster. I'll never forget that. Stay classy, homies. From your loyal listener, Noah, in Rochester, New York.
He's right. Binghamton
is it really?
I saw our bridge lady yesterday.
Oh, did you?
Confident as always.
Walking fast.
Oh, dude, yeah.
And one more.
I can't tell if she's tan or dirty.
I don't know how we got on the...
I know.
Oh, were you talking about emotional support animals a week or two ago?
Yeah.
All right. Was.
Because certain animals, I'm like, what problem do you have that this is the animal they would choose?
I just can't remember what it was. Like a turkey they were trying to bring on a plane.
I believe it was a turkey.
Something like that. It was just bizarre. Guys, from someone who works in the field, the idea of emotional support animals is crap. I work at an agency where people come in and try to get letters for their emotional support animals all of the time. Most of the time, they want to get the fee waived for their apartment. That's it. The support the animal provides is nothing more than being present. You could use a stuffed animal or even a support casserole for the same purpose.
The
whole point of emotional support animals is they have to provide some function. If they do not have an actual function, aside from making a person feel better, but they don't count. That from the Angry Therapist.
Yes, friends, it's time once again for Sit and Spin. Let's gather around the old radio and listen to some swellerific new music.
Oh, yeah, there he is, Ryan Castle. Live from his basement dungeon studio once again. It's a cool day here in Seattle. No point in coming in and using the air conditioning today.
Fact. I can't wear my socks and sandals at the office. I mean, I suppose I could. It's getting from the parking garage to the office and having someone see me in my socks and sandals.
Just tell them you're a dry cleaner and it's all forgiven.
The weird thing is
doing a pickup for the dry cleaner.
Weird thing is no pants. You know, that really makes the whole thing.
Of course.
That's why they're staring.
Yeah.
So we are talking about fashion today. We're talking about band T-shirts. I think everyone in that room, and myself included, has a closet full of black band T-shirts, right?
Including all the notes.
But in the pile,
sadly, that's my most recent purchase.
But we would get them like in the mail, and they would show up with music at work and stuff like that. But then we would go out and buy them as well. I have like 4 Motley Crue T-shirts in my closet, and every time I come home with a new one, my wife goes, "Do you need another black band T-shirt?
Okay.
Also, do you need another Motley Crue T-shirt?"
And what's the new Nikki Sixx band now? The LA band that I saw you wearing the other day?
LA Rats? He did LA Rats. He did a cover of a Johnny Cash song with Rob Zombie and John Fine.
I actually learned about LA Rats because you were wearing the T-shirt. I'm like, who the hell are the LA Rats?
So how many band shirts do you have that you wear on the regular that are kind of like your favorite shirts? How many would you say number-wise?
There's probably like 10, I would think. But so there were more, but I gained 25 pounds during COVID, so there are some of my favorites that I just barely squeezed into before that are a little just offensive to wear right now. It's just it looks bad, and also it reminds me that I gained 25 pounds.
Ted, how many shirts do you have? How many band shirts do you have at home?
I mean, just in my armoire, there's 6 that I know I go through every day.
What do you got?
Armoire.
That's fancy. His band shirts can only be placed in the
arm wall.
Yeah.
Come on, Castle, get with it.
I just have a dresser.
Right.
I mean, I think the last one that I wore a bunch was probably Miggs's band, Bruiser Brody.
Okay. You got an Alice in Chains hoodie?
I do have it. Right. I like that Alice in Chains hoodie I got, it was a fun, small show. I wasn't there, but I have a hoodie from the show.
Yeah. Steve, do you know off the top of
we
your
know
head?
where your wheelhouse is.
I can think of it. I mean, I'm old, so I like rocking my Black Flag, the Misfits, Faith No More. Every once in a while, the Doobie Brothers. That always makes a crazy conversation when I rock that.
I don't think I've ever seen you wear your Doobie Brothers shirt.
I try not to wear band T-shirts at work because we get our picture taken to sound stupid and like, I'm not going to advertise for you. It's your band. You do it, right? But on the weekends, I'll rock it. But the problem with the Doobie Brothers shirt is it's newish. So that's why the conversation happens.
Okay.
I'm like, yeah.
Well, you're wearing Chester Bennington's
Doobies or Brothers.
First band's
Gray Haze.
Gray Haze. I've got one of their T-shirts. I figured it out. I've got an Alice in Chains shirt from the Crocodile Show. I got a Hall & Oates show from that terrible show we saw at Key Arena.
I got one of those.
That was a great show.
Oh, they were okay.
They don't
I'm
like
a Hall
each
& Oates
other,
apologist.
and you could tell.
Right. Got a Soundgarden shirt from the Paramount show. Got a Grey Days freebie. A Pretty Reckless freebie. Royal Republic I bought. They opened up for, the band out of Vancouver. What the hell's their name? Why am I Theory of a Dead Man? And ELO. Jeff Lynne and ELO. I got that shirt.
You got a Kiss shirt.
You also have a Glenn Campbell T-shirt.
I have a Kiss T-shirt and a Glenn
Lionel
Campbell.
Richie, don't you? Didn't you get the
I have
Lionel Richie?
a Lionel Richie T-shirt. Jesus.
It's not black, but I have a white Timberlake one I got at a show.
Okay.
At a show.
That's strong. If you
Actually, I was in Baltimore 2 weeks ago, and I was telling Miles this. It blew my mind, but there were 3 young black kids, right, 12 and under, at different times, rocking Nirvana shirts. And I'm like, well, goddamn, I'm old. Because I know goddamn well you didn't get that at the show.
So today on Sit and Spin, this is a survey from Rush Order Tees. They revealed the most popular band tees across all genres from people who buy band T-shirts.
By the way, I was very disappointed by this company. I thought they sent topless women to your house.
No. Rush Order Tees? No.
That's not a great idea, though.
Number 10.
I don't know who this is.
Does anyone have an Ariana Grande T-shirt?
I don't.
Is it
She's
strange
number 10 on the
that her
list.
last name is Grande, which means large, and she weighs about 85 pounds?
It's Grandie.
Oh.
Remember, she cleared it up. Said that sounds stupid.
I do not have a shirt from her.
I don't think I've ever seen one either. Must not be in our area.
That's right. My daughter has a Taylor Swift T-shirt. I appreciate it because she actually went to the show. I appreciate it more because I didn't.
Miles was there. He loved it.
I had a great time at that show. Didn't know any of the songs, but I still had fun. She has great legs. These are the 10 most popular band T-shirts of all time.
Number 9.
All right, yeah.
Dearly beloved, Prince is number 9 on our list today of most popular band T-shirts.
Is the Purple Rain Prince shirt the only Prince? I've never seen anyone wear another shirt from Prince other than Purple Rain.
Oh, you wear a lot of Paisley.
I do wear Paisley.
That's pretty close.
And so does that ugly lady outside.
Yeah, she does. It's you and her.
Was he selling shirts at the time we saw him?
I don't think he was, man. I don't think he was doing merch at the shows. He charged $250 a ticket. He didn't have to.
Okay, maybe.
That's what I'm saying.
A sucker like you would pay $250 for a ticket. You're definitely going to spend $75.
Absolutely.
Oh, we would have.
Oh, yeah. You kidding me?
I bought a ticket for my wife to this show because she was really mad at me about something I can't remember. So she's like,
I can't imagine.
You're forgiven because I just bought the Prince ticket. I said, cool.
These are the 10 most popular band T-shirts of all time.
8.
Fine camp. I walked around all night.
Did you keep a hold of the
keeping a hold of a Foo Fighters hoodie that managed to make it home?
That is amazing. That is the most amazing.
Isn't that amazing?
Yes,
we
it is
wandered
amazing.
for hours. I'm not kidding. We wandered for hours looking for the camp, and finally we just kind of like slept on the ground.
Yeah. And when you buy one,
it was before we were smart enough to like drop a pin on our phone for our location.
Oh yeah, we could have done that.
It was the following year I started doing that.
But you do, man. You buy something, you're like, don't let me forget this. Don't let me forget this.
Right.
Don't let me
Well, it
forget
was $75 bucks.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, look, ironically, I had a sweatshirt I really liked from Southern California that Thrill lost at the Gorge.
Did I?
Yeah.
What did I lose?
I had a sweet zip-up Hobie one. And then I gave it to you. You're like, hey, man, I dropped it coming up to the stage. Sorry.
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 These are the 10 most popular band T-shirts of all time.
Number 6.
What?
Yeah.
Do you want to be punched in the face wearing this shirt?
This transcends generations here.
Yeah.
Everyone discovers weed and then immediately goes out and buys a Bob Marley T-shirt.
That's it.
It's like it's part of the uniform. When
No one wears a Bob Marley shirt who does not smoke weed.
Well, in Bob Marley, for some reason, like, I had a Bob Marley phase. I hadn't even smoked weed yet. But I think, like, if you're a teenager, like, whether you like weed or not, you go through this phase.
You go through the tie-dye phase.
Yeah, and I still like Bob Marley. I just
Ryan,
like him more now.
Ryan, how much would it take money for you to wear a Bob Marley T-shirt to a concert?
Oh yeah, I'd wear a Bob Marley shirt at one of those shows.
Are you an extra large now? What's your size?
I'm a medium.
Oh,
medium.
wow! These are the 10 most popular. Damn! These are the 10 most popular band T-shirts of all time.
Number 5.
I like how no one has any comments.
I'm just thinking like probably Danny from BJ and Migs has a closet full of Green Day T-shirts.
And he's got those masks that he wears sometimes when he probably fornicates. Remember the Green Day masks?
That's true.
You're with Billy Joe now, baby.
Looking in the mirror.
These are the 10 most popular band T-shirts of all time.
Number 4. We don't need no education.
I believe you
some Pink
have
Floyd
to
T-shirts.
have a ponytail to wear this shirt for people to believe you.
You know, I think I was wearing Pink Floyd shirts during what would have been the Bob Marley phase. Like when I was a teenager, I was all about Pink Floyd T-shirts for sure.
Well, Pink Floyd to this day, most of the people I see wearing them are like teenagers or people in their early 20s.
I know, it's weird. It's always like Dark Side of the Moon, right?
These are the 10 most popular band T-shirts of all time.
Number 3.
Do you think this is direct results of the movie Bohemian Rhapsody, or is it Wayne's World? Because Wayne's World brought this back, man. You think so?
Queen has always been popular, but that movie put them back in the stratosphere. I mean, I read an article a couple of months ago. They were still making £100,000 a day off of that movie.
Jesus Christ.
Wow. I mean, everything Queen is just a lightning rod right now, and has been for years since that movie came out. That movie's like 3 years old.
These are the top 10 most popular band T-shirts of all time.
Number 2.
This one kind of surprised me. I mean, not
too.
that I'm not an Aerosmith fan, but to see them this high on the list, considering that
When I was
they're not
growing
doing
up,
much.
man, everyone rocked it, and they were fine, like during the 70s, but their logo was really cool.
Sure. And it's also in more East Coast in a lot of ways. Like you'll see more Jovi T-shirts, tons of Bon Jovi T-shirts
Oh, my
still on
God,
the East Coast.
that's insane.
Tons of Springsteen shirts.
Hey.
It will never cross the Mississippi line. You know what I mean?
Not as much as it does. Yeah.
Exactly. All right. Is this going to be Nirvana here on the number 1?
That's my guess.
Number 1.
Oh, all right.
Oh, yeah. Holy hell. You mean the Foo Fighters showed up in the top 10 and Nirvana did not?
Yeah, so Eminem, Metallica, and Nirvana just missed the top 10.
Okay.
That would be 11, 12, and 13.
Damn. Thank you, Ryan Castle. We appreciate it. There you go, the 10 most popular band T-shirts. Thank you so much, Ryan. You are listening to The Men's Room. Probably right. All right, let's see here. Coming up, we'll drink and toast with the shot of the day. We do have your headlines on the way at 5:50, but first, a quick check-in with Mike Hawk and some of the stories and headlines he is not working on.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's Mike Hawk.
Some of the headlines that Mike is not working on.
Because
Mike
he's
is not
in
here.
Vegas.
He's on his honeymoon.
What do you think he's doing in Vegas? We've been with Mike in Vegas a couple of times.
All right, you know what? I'll tell you what he's doing.
All right, what's he doing?
He still posted Wardle scores at frickin' 5 a.m.
God, Mike.
And I almost texted him, right? It was like 4 or 5 when I saw this. I think it was 5 a.m. And I wanted to text him, like, dude, if you're not still awake, why are you up?
Yeah.
Why are you playing Wordle in Vegas? I'm going to text him, Mike, stop being you.
I was,
You're in
I don't
Vegas.
know, I was so pissed. Like, I got up to take a poo. I was going back to sleep.
He emailed us yesterday and told us some work stuff. I said, noted.
You know,
Stop working.
Castle, 6 a.m. Wordle.
What, right?
Like you're responding to BJ and Migs. They're in here at 5:30, 5 o'clock in the morning.
But at least Castle's coming into work. By the way, Mike, if you want to send a couple work emails, it's
I'm
fine.
saying, like, why are you up?
But I'm just like, you're in Vegas. If you're up at 5 a.m., you better have stayed up.
Guys, buy a bag of edibles. Sleep.
Something. Good
Seriously.
Lord.
Buy some blackout curtains.
We need to buy him some cocaine.
No, because he won't go to bed.
He isn't. He's playing Wordle.
Right. Today is National Aunt and Uncle Day. Did you call your aunts and uncles?
I did not.
Oh, Kevin, I noticed you were in here. What's going on?
Oh, man, dude. My roids are on fire.
Why the hell would you tell us that? We don't want to.
Yeah, go tell your aunt. I got to go.
Right.
Or your uncle.
Hey, I would recommend a damp, wet, cool cloth.
Oh, okay, I'll go in your backpack.
They're called tucks. They're a little.
You're going to the right place.
Yeah, exactly.
I have not called an aunt or uncle, but I haven't received a call either, Maddie and CJ.
Yes, it is National Aunt and Uncle.
Oh, that's a good point.
I am an uncle.
Yeah, I am.
Yes, you are.
Thanks to in-laws, yeah, damn it.
Absolutely. That was the weird thing about being an aunt or uncle. You lose the ability to be an aunt or uncle if your significant other and you aren't married anymore and you're uncle to them. It's weird.
That was a long way to say when you get divorced, you lose nieces and nephews.
You do.
See, they love me. I'm the outlier.
It's weird.
I am the drunk and or happy uncle. Right? Because they don't see me all the time. They live on the East Coast. When I come in, the kids are so happy to see me because I don't care.
I mean, you're right. Like, my sister got divorced, but, like, I don't hang out with him or his family or anybody anymore.
Well, no, but there's no kids involved. So, like, with my so, like, with Allie.
They won't reach out to anybody.
Allie was my niece, but she's not anymore.
Correct.
That is weird. It's kind of like a part-time job.
Yeah.
You know, like, maybe you have it, maybe you don't. If it's on the other side. Hopefully that's not the case. Also,
Well, it's tough out there for aunts and uncles because there's always a favorite uncle and a favorite aunt.
Sure.
I know I'm the favorite.
Also,
I just know I'm cooler than than the other side.
All you got to do is be cooler than the parent.
Yeah.
It's also National All or Nothing Day, which is meant to encourage people to give their all to everything they do.
It can also be perceived as encouraging them to give nothing. Like, if you don't feel like you're going to give it your all, then give it nothing.
A man in Florida was arrested last Friday after he stole a Ford pickup truck and drove to the Space Force base, where he planned to warn the government about a fight happening between aliens and Chinese dragons.
Thank you for doing that. We've been saying that for years, right? Finally, someone will take him seriously.
Speaking of stealing a Ford pickup truck, the Chevrolet Silverado is now the most stolen vehicle in the United States of America.
Oh, congratulations.
All right.
You know what? Honest to God, if I run Chevy, I brag about that. Like, look, people are willing to go to jail to get their hands on
just above its arch rival, the Ford F-Series. Last year, Ford F-Series, #1 stolen vehicle.
What do you think changed?
Silverado was a runner-up last year. I don't know. I think I think they came together as a team. I think there was a little bit more bonding in the offseason and just camaraderie, and they know what they got to do.
They put in the work.
They got to be the most stolen truck, and I think they stepped up, man, and they worked a little bit. They worked that extra. You know what? They gave 110%, which I know sounds impossible because it is.
But God, that one drives me up a wall.
They gave 110%.
No, you forgot to say at the end of the day. That's how you must conclude your obligatory sports. They ask a stupid question. Here's my answer.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, man, we're all just trucks out there balling.
Listen. In Mexico City, they are working hard to make sure that Chevy Silverado is a great vehicle and it's worth being stolen. That's what they do.
110%.
Coach, it's impossible.
Exactly. Shut up. A man in the UK has filed a lawsuit claiming that he bought a ham roll in 2017 and something was so messed up that he's still suffering from excessive flatulence now.
I don't know why I find that story so funny. It's not that he's been farting for 5 years. For some reason, it's that they had a ham sandwich.
That was
think about his poor family. Like his wife. She's been listening to this for how many years?
Well, remember, man.
It was the ham sandwich.
Right. That's the part that annoys her. Well, I guess it all does. Because remember, he says he can't sleep at night because the stomach gurgles so much.
Exciting new virus popping up in Europe, which can cause bleeding from the eyes and death. That's exciting.
Well, what is it called?
They don't say. On a brighter note, Sonic. We've been losing a lot of items that we love lately as far as food items. I know you got one of those stories coming up.
Apparently, everyone in the U.S. is going to lose their mind, yeah.
But Sonic will debut 2 new items this month. Cinnamon churros and a churro shake. Both will be available for 2 months and that involves cinnamon. So
I would say this. We were in Mexico City in April, and a friend of ours is from Mexico City. And she said, look, while you're there, you got to go to this spot. They have like the world's best churros. And I'm like, yeah, sure. Okay, whatever. But one day, we ended up there. So I said, all right, well, let's just get them. She was not kidding.
I've been thinking about inventing churro chunk.
Ice cream?
Yeah.
Okay.
With churro chunks in it.
Churro chunk.
My buddy was going to help me.
The Weather Channel is apologizing after dropping the N-word in a graphic on a Des Moines weather screenshot there.
Yeah.
It's going to be hot out there, guys.
My guys?
Yeah, my guys.
My friends.
Hey, my guys?
Here's your weather, my guys. Yeah. My dudes.
Broski.
Oh, here we go. If you are a drunkard, you'll like this. 3 myths about getting drunk that we still believe, and none of them are true.
Okay.
Ooh.
All right.
Beer before liquor is actually fine. You know the rhyme, beer before liquor, never been sicker. Liquor before beer, you're in the clear. Or whatever your version.
To be fair, I never remembered what order it was.
It's not true. It doesn't matter what order you drink your booze. It's just how much you drink.
Right.
All right. That adds up.
Yes.
There is no such thing as breaking the seal.
Oh, dang it.
Do you stop yourself from hitting the bathroom as long as possible because you're afraid of, quote, breaking the seal? There's no seal. You'll just need to go when your bladder's full, as always is.
Right. I think you fill your bladder a little faster, but that's about it. Right.
Myth number 3. Hair of the dog will not help a hangover. You can't drink away your hangover. In fact, drinking the next morning can make your hangover last even longer. Believe it or not.
I don't know.
But if you start catching a buzz, you're not going to feel hungover.
Right. I know I'm hungover, but I don't feel hungover. I just feel drunk, which is cool.
Yeah.
What's the old saying? Don't hang over, hang on.
Right. You know we're getting old. Someone showed kids between the ages of 6 and 18 phones of old technology to see which ones they could correctly identify. And not even antiquated stuff like the printing press or the clapper. Here's the results. 51% of kids could identify a landline phone, and that was the best result. 38% did recognize a fax machine. 29% could identify an original Nintendo NES. 28% knew what a floppy disk was.
Oh, wow. That surprises me.
26% recognized an answering machine.
All right.
And 24%, which is the lowest number, could identify a pager.
Yeah, if you don't know what a pager is,
why would you?
You would think it's something to check like your glucose level, right?
But why would you know any of this stuff? Right. Technology is so fast.
I think you'll get the home phone or the landline phone only from old TV shows and stuff like that.
All right, if you're a boomer, the 8 words that keep you up at night might be the millennials are coming. So consider this fair warning. A new study has ranked the 10 most attractive metro areas for millennials who want to relocate, based on several factors like the ratio of millennials already there, the social and employment opportunities, salaries, and all that. San Jose, California, and its surrounding area is number 1, which tells you that things are definitely going in the tech direction and have been for quite some time.
Yeah, and you want to make money.
Number 2 is Austin, Texas. Number 3, Seattle, Washington, followed by Salt Lake City, San Francisco, Denver, Nashville, Raleigh, North Carolina, Columbus, Ohio, and Boston. Seems like the same suspects always show up to the table.
A little surprised by Columbus.
Yeah.
And Salt Lake City. It's not that where it is a wonderful location, but the city itself, in my opinion, kind of sucks.
Yeah. Yeah. We brought up Robin earlier and the fact that she got her hand wide open opening up a pickle jar, right? They say, do you ever struggle to open pickle jars? According to a study, that could be a sign that you're dying.
Oh, Jesus.
New research out of Austria has found that weak hand grip strength may signal more serious health problems, heart problems, lung issues, even a lower life expectancy. It is complicated, but basically, hand grip strength can be a quick and inexpensive way to assess overall muscle strength. And muscle strength is proven to be a fairly accurate indicator of mortality.
All right.
The study basically created different ranges of strength that can be measured, and they compared it to others of the same age, sex, and body height and weight. Interestingly enough, it does not work both ways. The concern is having weaker than average strength. A stronger than average hand grip does not necessarily mean you'll live an extra long life. So that's one thing, but, you know.
I mean, is there like an age on that? I mean, some people might just like struggle opening a jar sometimes. You know, like you got to get the different thing to grip it open, or you got to use a knife. Like I would just like to know what age, if I can't open a pickle jar, do I worry? Yeah. Like I saw a thing the other day that said a good test is can you stand on one leg for 10 seconds?
And not you're going to die.
Right, and then I scrolled down. It was like for people over 70.
Well, balance is important, yes. Because also falling is one of the number 1 issues of death.
Absolutely.
At that age, so I think balance has a lot to do with that. All right, there's a thread online where people are talking about popular sayings that are actually complete BS. There are some good ones. The highlights include, are you ready?
All right.
Money does not buy you happiness.
Come on. I mean, it's simply this. It alleviates a lot. It does not buy you happiness. It alleviates a lot of the things that bother you now.
Right.
And there's only 2 people that say that. either rich people or super poor people who are trying to like not
just
think about
feel
it.
better. Yeah.
Time heals all wounds.
Yeah, most of them. Not all.
Some you forget, some you don't.
Damn right.
I think you can always forgive, but don't forget.
Yeah,
Then you're just being dumb.
Hell yeah. Cheaters never win.
They win a lot. That's why they keep cheating.
They win a lot. A lot. Mm-hmm. Especially in the sports world. We know that.
Hand of God.
Yeah. Right. Banging on trash cans.
I mean,
filming practices.
Right. They all cheated and they all won championships.
Mm-hmm. A lot of them. What goes around comes around. Not necessarily true. Back to cheaters never win.
Yeah, you hope that's true, but it's not. You hope it's true when you're angry. You hope that's not true when you're the suspect.
Justin, what's his name? The pitcher for the Astros. Verlander. He's married to Kate Upton. Right. Just saying.
What's wrong with him?
He's on a cheating baseball team, the Houston Astros.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, cheaters never win. He's winning. When it comes around, he's fine. Good things come to those who wait.
Maybe. I'd say go out there and get after it.
Okay. Whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Okay. Out of sight, out of mind.
That's probably, to me, the most accurate.
I was going to say, that one doesn't bug me that much.
No. I mean, that's why when I used to clean my room as a kid, I'd just stick all the stuff in the closet.
Right. Clean your closet.
As long as my parents were happy with that.
I'm just, again, thinking about people. Like, if I don't have to run into somebody I don't care for, then, yeah, out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah. The early bird gets the worm.
I'm not an early bird, man. I cannot even comment on that.
And I don't really want to wake up and like, oh, man, look at me. See, I'm up. I get a worm.
That one's just outdated. It's like the idea that you got to have the corner office and put in 8 hours. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
and now people are working from home on Zoom.
Yeah.
Right. Or, 4-hour work week. Like, you can, as long as the work is done, why does it matter?
An apple a day keeps the doctor away.
I'm pretty sure the Apple industry came up with that.
Yeah.
Not a bad idea to keep fruit, but don't think you're not going to go to the doctor.
Yeah, not a bad idea. There's a million things that'll kill you.
I think that's more just to get people to eat fruit, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right. I was going to say, like, look, you're talking about early bird gets the worm. Like, Kyler Murray, like, he's a really good quarterback. If he doesn't want to study at home, like, why does it matter? If he shows up and wins, he wins.
Well, they put in his contract he has to do 4 hours every week, Ted.
I know, which is ridiculous.
Well, I think they felt they had a problem with that. I think they labeled that.
You think Brett Favre sat around looking at playbooks?
No. Ever. Never.
Some dudes are gamers.
Never. There are plenty of fish in the sea.
Depends on the city you live in.
Yeah, it depends on the fish you're looking for, dog.
Yes, exactly. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me.
Ask the Weather Channel.
If it were true, you wouldn't say
Ted, it's hot in the morning.
Yeah. I know, my guy.
Better safe than sorry. These are popular sayings that are total BS.
You have a little risk in your life, right?
And finally, the one popular saying that is complete BS. I before E, except after C.
Yeah, that throws people off when you spell the crap wrong.
All the time. Absolutely all the time.
Is it Brain or Brian? I don't know.
All right, your headlines are coming up at 5:50. In the meantime, let's get a contestant on the line for Profile This at 206-421-ROCK. All right, if we made it to drinking time.
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the men's room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Drink time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink desk and Steve Throw Hill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed. Today we toast Mr. Bhagwant Mann. He would be the chief minister of Punjab in India. Now, recently, he was visiting Sultan Lodi. That's a city in the Punjab province, all right? And then there's a river there. That would be the Kali Bien. It runs through the city, and it's considered a holy river by the Sikh because it is believed that the founder of Sikhism, that would be Guru Nanak, they believe that he bathed in it and achieved enlightenment. Well, a lot of the residents also believe that their holy river is polluted with sewage. Now, that's where our honoree comes into play. Accompanied by reporters, local officials, and Sikh elders, the chief minister scooped a glass of water straight out of the river guzzled it in front of the whole world to show everyone that the water was safe to drink. This was met with cheers and applause from the audience. The chief minister even said he was blessed to have this opportunity. Kind of a cool thing. And while I'm sure there's no connection, it should be noted that he had to be airlifted to a New Delhi hospital after experiencing severe stomach pains within 24 hours.
Airlifted.
Oh, yeah. Dude, like, listen, sewage is just running into this river. But historically, it's considered a holy river. And they still consider it a holy river. But they're like, we're not trying to get in it. We're not trying to drink from it. So this guy comes down. Because that's what you do in politics now, right? Like, hey, what's your religion? Yeah, I support that.
Do not look into this eclipse.
Look how clean this is. He drank it, and they're all like, nice. Yeah, he's in the hospital still. So we pour this booze, and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy!
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies. Down the hola, bichola.
The Men's Room presents Profile This.
And Stephen Throwhill, could you please tell us how Profile This is played?
I sure can, Miles. It's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story, something that happened right here on planet Earth. Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes the story a story. Hello, Jolene. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hey.
Hola.
Did you pee on the floor?
Did I pee on the floor?
I don't know.
Is there any reason you would ask me that question? I did not pee on the floor. I'm not above it.
Okay.
Just curious why you'd
I
ask.
have to clean a lot of men's rooms. So
No, you know what, man?
Oh.
I tried to be very diligent about peeing in the urinal because when guys pee on the floor, somehow we will pee on the floor directly in front of the urinal, just not the urinal itself.
Jolene, you'll be happy to know that if you have to clean an actual men's bathroom, then you will be more than happy to do that over cleaning a woman's bathroom.
That is my
I
understanding.
agree. I agree.
I've been in a couple women's bathrooms. I'm like, oh my God, what is going on in here? Like, this is absolutely disgusting.
But what's weird, because if you go to a woman's house, typically her bathroom be cleaner than a dude's.
Why am I attracted to you?
Maybe that's why.
You dirty,
I don't
dirty
know.
girl.
All right, Jolene, you understand how this here game is played?
No. Please explain it to me.
Well, we got 3 categories. The wonderful world of drugs, bite me, in other words, what did someone find in their food, and finally, interior decorating, where you guess the foreign object that ended up on the inside of someone. So pick a category.
I would like interior decorating.
All right.
There you go, Ted. Ted the DJ on the Wheels of Steel today. All right, here is your story.
What about some of the customers in this club?
A 30-year-old Michigan man who inserted something into his penis for sex stuff had to take himself to the hospital. According to the Daily Mail, that man was initially planning to express the object via natural emission. I'm not going to spell it the kind of natural emission the man was referring to, but I'll give you a hint. It's not pee. Anyway, when the natural emission failed, the man tried to pluck the object out using tweezers. When that failed, he finally went to the hospital. And when he was there, he confessed that he was fairly experienced object inserter, but had never attempted to utilize this many. Okay, so he puts stuff in there alone. Are you gagging? Please do not gag.
Yeah, I'm gagging. It's grossing me out. Okay.
Well, it doesn't get better. The man's doctors wrote about the incident in the journal, and I'm sure you have a subscription to urology case reports. Anyway, in the report, the doctor explains the urologist managed to remove one object manually, extracting the remaining objects surgically, including one that it made it all the way to the guy's bladder. Now, doctors wrote that there was minimal trauma to the man's urethra, and the patient was discharged on the same day, which is fantastic. But what did homeboy insert to his urethra? Was it 6 beans, 6 pencil erasers, 3 rubber balls, or 3 Q-tips? So 6 beans, 6 pencil erasers, 3 rubber balls, or 3 Q-tips?
Q-tips.
You going Q-tips?
Ask him what they want. Q-tips.
6 pencil erasers.
6 beans, 3 rubber balls, or 3 Q-tips. And Jolene, you are going Q-tips. Okay.
Well, can I ask Ted what he thinks?
Sure. I think it's 6 beans.
6
beans.
6 beans.
Yeah, there was a lot of them in there.
I put balls. 6 beans. Okay.
I don't know. I like to clean my ears with Q-tips. I'm pretty sure it's Q-tips.
Okay, this is not his ear, but all right.
I'm gonna go beans with Ted because it seems like you could fire those out of there more. So pencil eraser would seem to grab and get stuck.
I would not know personally.
All right, we're gonna find out what this guy was dealing with. Was it 6 beans, 6 pencil erasers, 3 rubber balls, or 3 Q-tips next?
That was a tease.
Interior decorating on profile this. Got a man who inserted something into his urethra, and it got stuck. He had done this, I guess, many times before for a sexual nature.
Yeah.
The object this time was successfully removed. But was it 6 beans, 6 pencil erasers, 3 rubber balls, or 3 Q-tips?
And Jolene, that is the very question that we posed to you, and you compared a man's urethra to your ears and said, you know what? I like to use Q-tips to clean my ears. Certainly, it must be Q-tips that he inserted into his urethra.
Hey, can I talk to you guys for one moment, please?
Why not? Sure.
Okay, so my dad is Spider Monkey Jerry.
Oh, cool. All right.
Yeah.
You know what? We were wondering, I swear to God, Jolene, why, like, we know you. We know you're a whack job. We just couldn't figure out how we knew you. We talked to you before.
All right.
And now we know.
We love you. All right. Well, that's good.
Make sure you let your dad know that when it comes to what men put in their urethra, you have no idea.
Yeah.
Because it was not 3 Q-tips.
Okay, but you tried.
I'm so sorry.
That's all right.
Not 3 Q-tips in the boat.
And in your guys' defense, somebody told us about your dad's pizza place and said it's worth it.
I've heard that. I've heard the pizza's very, very good. But she knows nothing about urethral insertion.
Well,
keep that in mind.
She should not.
Just keep that in mind before you go. And then Miles Montgomery, the Ted Smith. You guys both agreed that it was 6 beans.
Seems like the logical thing.
It does not seem logical, but you are correct.
Oh, nice. Well, the beans have an external hard shell, so if he was trying to project them, and for eraser is a little bit more coarse, so you can't, like, if he was trying to go for this.
And one thing I appreciate about this dude is that he was up front with the doctor. Said, look, I do this all the time. I've never done 6. I tried to get them out basically by masturbating. I thought that would work. It did not work. The doctor's got one with a tweezer, and then the other 5 are just too deep for them to get out of that.
Rubber balls are going to be a little bit harder on the, you know what I mean? Like,
friction.
That was the right call, yeah. Now for all TV news all time for TV Time with Ted.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box, the Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
All right, your choices today. You got, I almost said Jimmy Myers. The Jimmys.
Jimmy Fallon and Jimmy Kimmel.
Seth Meyers. All right. Or Ted Smith.
Is it Ted?
Well done.
Or is it Larry?
Getting better at it, boys.
It is right through the title. He's got 17 for talented writers and help come up with their monologues each and every night. It is up to you to determine, is this an actual late night joking from whom, or could it be a T. Ted Smith original? You'd think they just have it in a row, in order.
It is, but I had them on the same page because I had music from the other one.
Oh, man.
That's the thing. Usually when I'm talking, Mike's back here moving around so quick.
It's crazy.
So I was trying to wait out one to fade out so I could put it. That's tech talk. Nobody wants to hear.
No, it's fine.
Due to rising food prices and burgers and pizzas are getting smaller. A White Castle burger is now the size of a postage stamp. Postage
stamp. Yes. Kimmel.
Fallon. Yeah.
Oh.
I thought you did Fallon now.
Oh, yeah. What was the joke again?
Due to rising food prices, burgers and pizzas are getting smaller.
Guys, due to the rising prices, burgers and pizzas are they're getting smaller.
A White Castle burger.
White Castle burgers now the size of a postage stamp.
Johnny Manziel's ex, Brie Tessie, gave birth to a baby son with Nick Cannon. And now Nick Cannon has more teammates than Johnny Manziel.
Ted Smith.
Yeah, that's baby.
That was a good joke, though.
Thanks, man. I just don't know what Nick Cannon is doing.
He's not spending time with any of his kids individually, obviously. It's impossible.
And he works so much, but for nothing.
What are you doing? I think that's a fun time to spend time with your kids when they're really young. He missed the whole damn thing. Or maybe he didn't. Maybe he just figures out a way to spend time with 8 kids. I don't know.
With the ongoing pilot shortage, senators have announced a new bill to raise the mandatory retirement age for pilots. Yeah, that's who passengers want flying their planes. A pilot who thought his best days were behind him.
Valid.
Yeah, that's valid. Don't sweat that one, Miles. It's a little wordy. The fast food chain Subway has launched a promotion this week that will give customers free sandwiches for a year if they get a tattoo of the company's Subway Series logo on their forearm. Meanwhile, Arby's will give you a sandwich if you just write meat on your forehead with a Sharpie.
I think that's Seth Meyers.
Seth Meyers.
Yes. Can you imagine? That's it. Can you imagine walking in there and just have meat on your forehead?
I'd rather do that than have a Subway tattoo. My God, man.
Well, you got to do a little investigating, right? Like if they said, hey, free sandwiches for life, maybe you get that tattoo.
For life, maybe. I still wouldn't, but
if you
for life,
really,
maybe.
If you really like the establishment.
Yeah, but for a year? Like, dude, the tattoo does not fade in a year.
And it's got to be a certain amount of how many they think you'll eat in a year.
Yeah.
Right, because isn't that like when people give you like a year's supply of, I don't know, let's say PBR. Something they give you a year's supply, but the PBR gets to decide like, oh, you should only have 130-pack a week.
According to the doctor.
Yeah, I think they need to be identified as food items before I'm going to go all in on the whole life thing.
Right.
Seriously, your bread's got to be like actual food. So.
Yeah. Is there a fast food restaurant you get a tattoo of for a free year of food?
Many. Oh, yeah. But I don't know those things about those places. So they could have equally bad things about them. I just don't know them yet.
Right, you don't know them, and therefore you're fine.
So therefore I'm fine with it right now.
But, you know,
Subway just got busted first.
But also Subway, but
in one country, it's like your bread is not food.
Correct.
That's kind of a big deal.
Different, right.
It is, but I think part of that is on our country.
It is. We have different, every country has different rules.
That's what I'm saying. They haven't been called out yet.
Speaking of eating, has anybody been watching Shark Week?
I have not.
I've watched a couple things, but not too much.
All right, it just started. Now, Shark Week, when I was a kid, it seemed very exciting to watch Shark Week.
Absolutely.
It was, again, one of the only week of the summer where you had new stuff. Now you have America's Got Talent. You know what I mean? Like
there's a lot of stuff going on.
There's different shows. But honestly, I think there might be too many shark shows.
I agree. Once, was it Nat Geo? Once they got into the game.
Right, they have like Shark Fest.
Right, like I know you're trying to steal their thunder. The problem is Shark Week, we all appreciate it. Like, look, here's 1 week. Anything you want to know about sharks, it's going to happen in this week.
I will say this.
Right, and it's once a year.
I will say this, though. I'm an animal guy. I watch a lot of nature shows. I like a lot of different kind of animals. Not one animal on this planet gets a full week. To me, the orca is a superior animal. It doesn't get a week.
But orcas don't attack people.
I
usually
know that.
Therefore, while they are exciting, they're interesting. And I agree with you 1,000%.
Octopus. There's no octopus week.
But Thrill's right. There's got to be the threat to the human being. Like, because people are so scared of shark attacks. That's one of the reasons we're oddly obsessed with them, right? It's like going to the edge of a cliff.
But we also
know it's dangerous and you shouldn't, but there's part of you that wants to go towards the edge.
They made the Lion King, not the Giraffe King.
Right.
I mean, it's just
correct.
It's
like lions are superior to me too. I mean, as far as just one of those animals that's up there.
Ooh, don't tell
like
me.
Mosquitoes, they kill more people in the world than any other animal. They don't have mosquito week.
But like,
but
right? So my buddy Sal, right? He's down outside Olympia, right?
I kill shark.
So we're having a fun boat day, and we're swimming in the water, and we pass an island, and there's a dead orca carcass on there, and this and that.
Oh no!
Yeah, and then we buzzed by your golf course down there.
There was a dead orca.
Yeah, well, I mean, unfortunately, any whales pass away, they put them over on that island because it's like a prison island. That way, nobody will mess with them, and you can still learn from it.
Okay.
So anyhow, but then we're out there, and I'm just swimming because I love swimming, but I'm in open water. Like if you had said, "Hey, we just passed a great white shark. Do you want to go swimming?" I'd be like, "No." But for some reason, with orcas,
feel okay with the SeaWorld lifestyle.
Correct.
All right.
Like I don't think that orca is going to come up and eat me.
I don't either. I agree with you. I hope not.
You don't think so.
But it would freak me the hell out if one came out and be like, "Oh no, we're going to find out."
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, did you see the video of that seal attacking that woman off the beach in Hawaii?
I did.
She was an idiot. Obviously, the seal was nursing.
They roped it off to say, "Hey, this seal that we know about is nursing."
So
she understand mammals when they have their babies, and then you get close, dummy.
I don't think she was a mentally stable human being.
Oh, I think you're giving her an out.
I think
people
you're
don't
giving her an
mind.
out, too.
You think everybody has a I think most people are fine.
I think
and they
she's
go to
mentally out of her
Yellowstone
mind.
and they get too close to the animals.
Yep.
I also think part of it too is
don't give them an out. Being stupid is no longer an excuse, and the fact that this country celebrates it, right, the dumber you are, the more rewarded you are. Then even if you are a freaking moron, you get no quarter on this, man.
But Shark Week's, you're right. There's the death thing. Yeah, I mean, just like, right, people are scared to death of a shark attack. Plus,
Thank you, Jaws.
Right, you have Jaws, right? With lions. I mean, I remember seeing a movie in a theater where there's like this, town or camp where like these two lions just eat people for like a week, and they're terrorizing everybody that lives in this village. But, eventually these dudes come in and try to kill them. So that's why, again, like orca's a very scary animal, impressive animal. I mean, I like watching the videos of them doing stuff, but yeah, you don't get a whole week because, all right, there.
There's only one there's only one movie about him, and at the end, he did kill a guy, but
but you killed the orc. Look,
yeah, no, I understand.
If I'm the
it was justified.
If you kill my kid and my wife, I will kill you too.
Yeah.
There's no question. There's
probably more deaths by dogs every year than there is sharks.
They made Cujo, and you're still like, let's get a pet dog.
Correct.
Right. I mean,
You know what I mean? A week of sharks. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well, I feel like dogs get weeks. I mean, there's a whole series. That Caesar Million guy. I mean,
but it's always positive.
The Westminster Dog Show's fun.
Yeah, man. I mean, I was watching agility drills on Saturday.
They don't have
dog
the Westminster
agility
Shark Show.
What's that?
They don't have the Westminster Shark Show.
They don't.
Evil Knievel jump sharks, not dogs.
Jump over 200 dogs.
Oh, no. Don't go there, buddy.
Well, here's the thing. I watched one last night called Air Jaws. Now, I remember a few years ago, the first time we saw a shark breach.
Right,
it was
it's a big
unbelievable.
deal, yeah.
This was Air Jaws Top Gun. Right, and it's got the same logo. Yeah. It was more like the music they play when they're like waking up on the aircraft carrier.
Okay.
Anyhow, they're trying to see if they could film a shark breaching higher than any previous record.
Okay.
But they know they're not going to get it. So they made a miniature version of one of the dudes in a mini seal so they could film it from an angle of a smaller shark and make it look like it was jumping out really far.
Huh.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, I'm the shark guy. I'm supposed to be in the cage. And then Thrill's like, hey, listen, dude, there's not a lot of big sharks around here. So what we're going to do is make a mini Ted, put him in a mini cage, and then have one of the smaller sharks attack it.
Okay.
That's where I'm just like, no pun intended, I think we're jumping the shark.
At the point that you do that, I agree. Like, look, sharks are just fascinating in general.
Don't bait them.
Right. Like, just let it be what it is.
I mean, have sharks jumped the shark?
I think sharks, if they knew that Shark Week existed, I think sharks would be like, one, we're here all the time. We're here all the time. We appreciate you giving us a week, but like, really, you have a miniature of a person so that I can be like, this is crap.
Yeah, and like, look, some people are just trying to enjoy Cape Cod and Smith Family popcorn. We don't need you sharks out there attacking people.
The water's warm.
Yeah.
The seals are abundant.
Right.
They actually are.
Nothing will happen. Now, with all that said, if you know me at all, you know I'll still go home tonight and watch a little bit of Shark Week on Discovery.
What is on tonight?
Tonight you have Jaws versus Kraken.
Ooh, I'm taking the Kraken.
Yeah,
I'm taking the Kraken.
Well, I think this will be like a computer fight. Which I'm fine. Remember, we used to watch
Giants versus Beasts? This is not San Jose, Seattle?
It is not.
Oh.
Which is probably...
No, it is Ron Jaworski, Seattle.
Eagles?
Jaws.
Yeah.
Remember, that's his nickname, Jaws.
Oh. Okay.
Should have been Jowls.
It was Ron Jaworski?
He was Jaws.
He was Jaws.
Oh, yeah.
That joke is a little deeper than this water.
I know. I forgot that. Ron Jaworski. Thank you, Ted. We appreciate it. You're listening to the Men's Room. All right, here we go to Japan, where 45 people have been attacked by monkeys in the last 19 days. A story from Brooklyn would indicate that being a bishop in New York actually really pays. Lake Mead, Nevada brings us another dead body as waters continue to recede. Said knows if you enjoy a Choco Taco after smoking a little weed. And a Polish scientific institute says that domestic cats, they are an invasive alien species. It is time for your headlines.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's Mike Hawk.
Lies! Not Mike Hawk, just Thrill. At least 45 people around the Japanese city of Yamaguchi have been attacked in 19 days. by monkeys. Now, the attacks have doubled in recent days, raising doubts that a single animal is to blame. That was our initial thought. Dozens have been bitten or scratched, though no serious injuries have been reported. Police officers reportedly set up traps and are keeping watch for tranquilizer guns. Now, police have stepped up patrols again to search for monkeys, which they say are 15 to 20 inches tall, and residents have been urged not to leave their windows open. The monkey victims include a baby who was badly scratched. Baby's mother told local media that she heard the child crying and turned around to see that a monkey had grabbed the infant by the legs and appeared to be trying to pull her away. At least 3 monkey attacks occurred in schools, including a nursery school where a child was bitten while taking a nap. The monkeys have also gone after elderly women, including a woman who was attacked while hanging out laundry on her balcony. Monkeys, they're up to no good. And from monkeys, we go to beavers. Well, sort of. Actor Tony Dow, who portrayed Wally Cleaver on Leave It to Beaver, he has died maybe at the age of 77. Either he has or he hasn't. Now,
he's going to. Eventually,
it's just gone back and forth all day. They said something official, and then his family's like, oh, they shouldn't have put it out on his Facebook. He's still alive.
He's not dead yet.
We just resuscitated him.
Right. It's one of those deals. Either way, it's funny. They say no cause of death was immediately announced, mostly because they're not sure whether or not he's still alive or not. Anyway, he's been battling liver cancer. And here's the thing. So he actually had very little acting experience before landing his famous role, though he was a junior Olympics diving champ. But he went with a friend to an audition, tried out, and he actually got the part. And the show ran from 57 to 1963. Now, you might think that that's all he did. Well, no. Dow remained in show business after the show ended, becoming a writer, producer, and director on various shows, including Harry and the Hendersons.
Oh, nice.
Right? You would never know that. Coach, which Ted and I were lamenting as the show we enjoyed back in the day.
Love that show, man.
And then I like this. He also continued to act, including the 1980s reunion movie, Still the Beaver, and then the series, the new Leave It to Beaver. Sadly, we'll never get to see the third installment, Hey Man, Sweet Beaver.
His story was this. So he stayed at a friend's family during the summer because his parents worked.
All right.
So the friend's family, they were a little bit better off. But his buddy, his friend, was like an aspiring child actor. So his mother said, okay, we got to go to this audition, right?
All right.
He comes along.
Did he have any intention of auditioning, or he just tagged along? Okay.
No, he just tagged along. And that was the start of his career. He got the part. His buddy, I think, auditioned for the Beaver.
Okay.
And he just auditioned in general. He got the part.
I'm sure his buddy was so happy for him.
That's how he got in Hollywood.
Who is the Beaver? Isn't he a famous actor?
What is his name?
I mean, he's not famous, but he's famous for that one.
What's his name? Was it Jerry something? Who played the Beaver?
Don't be hard on the Beaver, Steve.
Speaking of deaths, 1984 to 2022. Sad day. After a 38-year run, Unilever, the people behind the Klondike Choco Taco, they've now confirmed they are ending the existence of the Choco Taco. In a statement, Klondike said, quote, "We are always updating our product portfolio to create new, exciting innovations that reflect customer preferences and trends. A necessary but unfortunate part of this process is that we sometimes discontinue products in order to ensure we can offer the best variety nationwide." Here's the thing.
I smell a rat.
This is my belief, and I cannot confirm this, but we see this crap all the time. I think they pulled the Choco Taco because people legitimately enjoy the Choco Taco. Once they announce they're getting rid of it, people had a lot to say. When they reintroduce it a year and a half
sell the hell out of it.
They're going to sell the
It's like if they canceled Twinkies.
Exactly.
You know, like when's the last time we had a Twinkie? Or a Chocodile, or whatever.
Well, that's the thing with the Choco Taco. Everybody's freaking out, but when's the last time you guys had a Choco Taco?
I had one.
Haven't had one.
6-7 months ago.
Okay, you're doing better than me.
I go the drumstick. I'm a drumstick fan.
No, but I'm just saying, like, this happens all the time with stuff, and like maybe people just weren't really eating them. But then when you say, "Oh, we're going to get rid of it,"
everybody remembers how much they like it, and when you bring it back, you're going to get a rush on it.
Right? Like I remember the first Choco Taco I had; it blew my mind. But also, I could sit here and look you in the eye and be like, it's been 8 to 10 years since I've actually bought one.
All I'll say is this, and you can bet me $1 on this when I set up my Venmo, but it will be back by 2023.
Jerry Mathers was the...
Jerry Mathers, thank you. We called this one Viva Las Vegas. Another set of human remains was found at Lake Mead on Monday as the reservoir's water levels continued to recede. So park rangers responded to a report of human remains found in the park's Swim Beach area in Boulder City, Nevada. Now, this is the third body found in Lake Mead as the country's largest reservoir has receded to, as they say, unprecedented levels. The first body was discovered on May 1st. It was found in a barrel, and they say was likely a murder victim, not just because he was in a barrel, but also because he died from a gunshot wound and was in a barrel. Anyway, another set of human remains was found on May 7th in the park's Colville Bay area, and the receding water was also exposed. This is kind of new. Previously sunk on boats, including a World War II era landing craft just last month. Just so you know, it's the lowest level on record for the reservoir since it was first filled in the 1930s. And on that positive note, we leave you.
All right, let's see here. Men's Room Happy Hour is up next, episode number 214, Steve.
Gotta go.
Exclusively on the Odyssey app. We'll see you up next for more Men's Room.
Yes, indeed, it's all true. In the meantime, well, we be all about this pitch for 180 seconds or so. So until then, please, do what you do best, and for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.
The Men's Room has been taped before a live studio.
Wendy's home-style French toast sticks are so sweet and crispy, some are saying they're better than Mom's breakfast.
Did you say Wendy's French toast sticks are better than mine?
No, Mom. Some people are saying that, not me, even if I am thinking it. Choose Wendy's home-style French toast sticks.
At participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hour.